Alright, hello friends on stream. Sorry for the delays. We're just about ready to get started. This is gonna be another great WLDL matchup. We got Sange and Yasha division crossover action between Savoury characters and SADBOYS. Casting with Perma today. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad we're finally getting this show on the road because it was a bit of a long lead up.
Yeah.
As usually is, you can't. That's why I'm saying in the chat, you can't fucking cast a Savory characters game without all sorts of unexpected delays. Whether someone's not waking up here, someone's client not working there, you gotta stand in late for half an hour situation. This shit just does not stop. But it translates to the games as well, which is highly unfortunate. For me because I have work in around 1.5 hours.
Oh man.
So hopefully, yeah, I'm here for one game only, but it's a pleasure to be casting with you. I was supposed to, I want to come out here and clarify a situation. Zach's stirring some shit on my stream. He's like, because he's like, oh, Perma and White Hawk beef, just because I'm like more inclined to casting by myself. But I was supposed to cast with Kung Pao Kenny, but I think he got caught up in the pub, and I think he's a little busy now. So
Oh,
that's
gotcha.
a little bit of an unfortunate situation.
How might this rebalance the fight?
Alright, we got the required Lena ban if you don't have first pick.
Yeah.
10 seconds remain.
No, actually, I'm not sure if you caught the games like that happened yesterday or the day before, but the first pick Lena has not actually been working out very well for some of these teams. Across the divisions, actually, we saw, or at least I think I saw a series where every first pick Lena just got destroyed. Back the other way. I think people are starting to figure out strategies against it, and unless you're a very, very practiced Lina player, it seems just picking it isn't good enough anymore, right? It was very susceptible to being jumped by these tanky offlaners, like for example X, Legion, who can counter her at all stages of the game, whether that's the case or whether it's through a carry-to-carry matchup like Spectre, Void, or something like that as well.
And another hero that I've been seeing thrown around as a potential counter to Lena is the Riki.
Right.
Won't need to play that role in this game, but does a pretty good job of finding heroes farming alone in a jungle and securing a kill on them.
Yeah, I think particularly for me, this is something that Savoury characters brought out what feels like out of nowhere on Benji, who most people know as a very, very notable hoodwink and lion player. It just kind of popped the Riki out of nowhere, just went absolute god mode in one of these games. The smoke screen, I think, is the biggest aspect of this hero. Everyone talks about the sleeping dart, but really, I feel like a large chunk of the hero's utility is in the smoke screen. The counter pick is gonna be not really the counter pick, but the safe pick for SADBOYS is gonna start themselves off with Silencer. This is a tried and tested sort of support hero that a lot of these teams are favoring just because it shuts off so many initiation or counter initiation potential. Lycan's an interesting one to just kind of start things off with. A lot of high tempo, and yeah.
Yeah, I like this as kind of a resilient carry that's not going to have to worry about a Riki finding them farming. Like, if the Riki runs into the Lycan, the Riki's just going to get eaten by wolves and whatever other friend Lycan has sticking around. And I like the Silencer as an answer to the Riki too, because probably my favorite combo with a 4 Riki is a Dawnbreaker, and that kind of takes that off the table right away if you're feeling good about your Silencer's ability to global in response to the Solar Guardian.
Yeah, the scary thing for me is that Riki is one of those constantly how can we forget?
I was surprised this wasn't the first pick.
Yeah, so it's a little bit scary against the Lycan, but it's one of those weird interactions where both heroes don't really care about each other. You're never gonna have a situation where, as an Arc Warden, unless you get a Gleipnir, even when you get a Gleipnir, I don't think you have enough sheer burst potential to deal with this Lycan in one shot. You can always just kind of scurry away with the shapeshift. On the flip side, the Lycan doesn't really threaten the Arc as well because you don't have any natural TP cancel right now between the Sansa and the Lycan. Unless you maybe dominate a Centaur creep or something like that. But already some Siggies coming out from the side of Savoury characters here, and definitely a lot to be afraid about if you're on the side of SADBOYS. Now, Lycan is not really a hero that we see picked up at all very much in the WLDL. I don't know whether this is a specialty, but it definitely can draw a lot of attention, apply a lot of map pressure, and just close out the areas that the Art Warden might want to play, especially early on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a feeling that SADBOYS were planning this first phase Lycan alongside the fact that they left the Arc Warden unbanned. I think they feel like it's a good answer for it.
10 seconds remain.
And we'll see if they're right. I think it definitely has good potential.
5 seconds.
Yeah, so for this particular hero, they've only played it once, and it's up in a game against No Limits where they won. So it was, to be fair, it was a very, very late. The game ended up going pretty fast in their favor. They last picked this Lycan, and they just kind of ran away with it, to be honest.
This is
it
a
looks
crazy
like they ran away
draft
with
in
it,
this
at least.
Lycan game.
What do you mean, like the one that they played?
Well, it's good. I guess it's
it's kind of bonkers, right? You went like, I don't know, Techies, Enigma, Lina. And, that's the greediest. I don't know how they got away with it. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, that's like triple carry. All of your all of your cores are carries, and then Techies Enigma support duo. That is.
So the one thing about Lycan is that he doesn't really care about Riki or the smoke screen because he has enough move speed to just run out of it. You're not really limited by that area as well, but I guess you can always just, if you don't really think about it as synergy, but it's gonna be very annoying to play up against smoke screen and magnetic field as two mechanics you're gonna have to try and just auto attack through as a Lycan.
Yeah.
Player must choose.
Okay. Faceless Void and Naga bands coming out. Just some carry matchups that I think they didn't want to deal up against into this pick on the PL here. So already you can see that there is some degree of whether it's preparation or whether it's some thought given to how they want to deal with this Art Warden at every stage of the game. You know, in the early stage, you already have the Lycan who's going to try and put a lot of pressure on the map and run you down and really force you into uncomfortable positions. And in the later stage of the game, the Phantom Lancer can not necessarily outscale, but it's a similar relationship with the Lycan where he doesn't really care about what you can do.
Yeah, there's definitely the tools here already to just absolutely swarm an Arc Warden and get inside that bubble and not care about the fact that you can't hit him from outside of it.
I'm just a little worried because so far that we've seen the Riki being picked, it's been such great utility and such a huge disruption. But I feel like with the... and this Grimstroke really shows up a lot of their weaknesses, but I was just about to say, this Riki up against Lycan and PL, these are two calls that do not give a shit about you at all. Yeah. And you'll be lucky if you can find the real one with the Sleep Dart, you know? Sure, once again, Smokescreen is always going to be useful as Smokescreen, right? But... okay, Grimstroke, not necessarily the best against the Lycan summons, but can add a layer of initiation and teamfight control that they were previously missing. The Soulbind as well can keep the Lycan in place and really pesky if you find the real PL with it. So I like this pick quite a lot. It's also a Winking Owl special, so lines up nicely into what they want here.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it a lot for how it helps hold a Lycan in place, especially if you can get him bound to, like, the Silencer or another backline hero. Like, that, forget any, like, fancy combos with the Grimstroke. If you can get the Soulbind on two heroes that want to be on opposite sides of the fight, it's one of the best stuns in the game. When they go to the Axe as the answer to the Zoo.
Actually, I'm quite surprised that... Isn't this, like... I was gonna say, don't you sort of pick something like a TIE Hunter here? Because the one thing that you're sort of missing right now is a lot of these early tower pressure where they run in with summons and PL illusions. The Axe can kind of clear through that, but the Axe is a lot more volatile. I guess they're thinking about it from the point of view of, okay, the Axe is more constantly available to fight, right? That's the theme that I see if Savoury characters line up right now. They're not really inhibited by any super long cooldowns. They're always ready to just keep going and keep fighting and keep the tempo up and potentially keep making that space for their Art Warden. Now, Hoodwink still falls in that category as well. A nice little bit of follow-up, I guess, initiation. They don't really have a lot of stuns at the moment. That Bushwhack is going to be the only thing that they have. So that might be an area that Savoury characters can capitalize on.
Yeah, I like the Axe as well as your kind of Riki combo. Because they didn't have anything before that that's like a huge, like, getting set up by Sleep Dart, and now you have like the perfect, like, somebody gets Sleep Dart, Axe makes his way over, calls when he's ready, and then you get
10 seconds
you get that
remaining.
extra disable fully set up.
5 seconds ban.
Yeah.
So the one thing about X that I think a lot of people don't understand, especially the people who are just picking it and not used to it, is that X is not, contrary to popular belief, not really a primary initiator. He can only fulfill that role if you have heroes on your team that can give you vision. But bada bing, bada boom. First 2 picks, you got Ricky running around constantly scouting out the opponents, and Arc Warden. Every Spark Wave you place is just information that you're giving that X so he can make the perfect jump. The thing with X is that if he doesn't want to just blink up into absolutely nobody, each call is so important, and you're only really... You want to just keep chaining these calls, right? So you call one time, you run back a little bit, throw Battle Hunger out, and jump in and call again right when the time is right. So that's where a lot of this vision comes into play. Now, I'm looking for something of an active mid laner, because we already have sort of the Arc Warden that's going to fulfill that carry from mid lane potentially role. So we need something sort of more active on the safe lane. I'm looking at something that can play with the Grimstroke, something that can just mess with the Lycan early and apply pressure in that safe lane, and just run down these squishy supports, Hoodwink and Silencer. Maybe capitalize on the fact that they don't have a lot of stuns as well to lock you down. You can just roam free on the map. They're thinking the same thing, SADBOYS. They ban out the Anti-Mage and the Drow Ranger. I don't know about the Anti-Mage against Lycan. That's kind of scary for AM.
Yeah.
Savoury characters, it's gonna be a gyro.
This isn't what I was thinking. I was agreeing with what you were saying, and to me that was screaming Phantom Assassin.
Ooh, okay.
But I like this gyro pick.
I think this gyro pick fits absolutely everything they need. High tempo, early magic mixed damage coming out from the gyro. This is not, the thing is, this is not a hero you can afford to run into at any point in the game. So, SADBOYS, they're gonna end it off with a Lash pick that can also apply a lot of tower pressure. I like that a lot. It can stand up against the Axe because you're never really sort of being out damaged by the spins. You can run down these supports. You're not really so concerned about the Ricky smoke screen, because as long as you've cast your spells and turned on the Pulse Nova, you just run in and do damage. Overall, I think this is an excellent last pick from both sides. Beats on the signature Gyrocopter here, and not really a hero we see very often, but I think especially against this lineup where you have 2 heroes that just want to run in on the PL and Lycan, you can just shred them apart with the amount of damage you have. Same situation can be said for the Lash though. So, okay, before we go into the viability of these drafts, pet-wise, it's a pretty close call, I have to say. I mean, the Lycan and the Codewing are dripping out the wazoo, but I mean, you take a look at the Arc Warden and Benji, he's got that nice concoction of the Ricky, everything else on Savoury characters. I'm a little biased here, so I have to give it to Savoury characters.
Yeah, SADBOYS are a bit shinier. They got more of the particle effects. I think Benj is also getting a little benefit from some wonkiness in how the pregame setup is.
Right.
I think he has 2 Ricky hats on right now. It looks really sick in this setup, and I don't think it'll be sticking around.
He's got
the horns are
it's
gone.
only one hat.
It still is a good Ricky set, but I think that might be the difference for me.
Oh, Beats actually ends up changing his Gyrocopter set right before we get into the game. But okay, so like we said, Shakiro, not the best track record with this team. We'll see whether SADBOYS can turn this one around, or whether Savoury characters can continue a little bit of the dominance that they've been enjoying thus far. We'll be seeing some signature picks already coming out from their side. These are heroes that they've absolutely crushed on. The Benji Ricky in particular is one that I'll be looking out for. Any hero to watch or any player to watch you feel like that this game might rest on in this early stage?
I mean, the easy answer is the Chio Arc Warden. Maybe less so in the early part of the game, but I think it is well known at this point that if you're playing against Savoury characters, you either have to ban the Arc Warden or you have to have a plan for the Arc Warden.
And speaking of the plan, now that we're looking at the side of SADBOYS, do you think what they have right now is sufficient to deal with this?
I think
we talked about it in the jump, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you see?
So I see heroes that are comfortable running at an Arc Warden on really all 3 cores, especially like once you hit your Bloodstone on Leshrac, and once you've got a few items on the Phantom Lancer. I feel like you can put pressure onto the Arc Warden. I also think they have the tools to try to take this game under Savoury characters' plan. I think between the Lycan and Leshrac, there's going to be a lot of really early tower pressure from these two heroes, and they might just be able to sneak away with a quick one.
Players compete.
So the reason why I like the Tidehunter a bit more than the X, despite the longer cooldown ultimate, is because I feel like Tidehunter can just kind of plop him in front of the tower and you're not really under any threat. Right? You have the wave clear backup from the Grimstroke. If they go on you, there's a Soulbind turnaround Ravage combo. It's a bit different for the X. You can't really just park yourself in front of the tower like that. You're waiting for a jump more than anything. So, like you said, I feel like the early tower pressure, how the side of Savoury characters choose to deal with it will be very important in how this game goes. If they can sort of hold it off and just push the side of SADBOYS off, in the early stage especially, I think that's where they'll have a lot more space to work and they'll hit their own spike and turn things the other way. But, you know, it's all down to how they end up relieving some of that pressure. But I realized we didn't do some introductions here. I'll introduce the side of Savoury characters, of course, my boys. Cherry Lineria, Achille Lestrange, like you said, the infamous Arc Warden mid at this point has been just absolutely dominating on this hero, but looks like SADBOYS have to plan against it. We'll see whether it works. Top side, Benji, position 4, Ricky. Performed on it one time, we'll see whether he can do it again. Pepperboy on the Axe. And of course, in the safe lane, 4 beats on that Gyrocopter, supported by Owl on the Grimstroke, position 5.
And for the side of SADBOYS, in the off lane, we've got Light on the position 3, Lycan Mies on the position 4, Hoodwink. Mid lane, we've got Boots on the Leshrac squaring off with that Dreaded Arc Warden. And in the safe lane, we've got Shaq Sparrow, the captain of this ship, on the Phantom Lancer, and Chikiro on the Silencer.
Yeah, Chikiro doing a very good job in terms of applying a lot of pressure out. This is exactly what you want as the Sansa. Just stock up on all that juicy regen and just smack the shit out of the offlaner. Don't allow Pepperboy to have any sort of existence in this lane. And, yeah, Shaq already doing pretty well for himself here.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately not able to get pull off, but still, they're gonna Pepperboy gonna get some nice little juicy bits of farm as the wave a little closer to his tower.
Yeah, this is definitely.
I don't really know if there's any particular lane that we're looking at, because yeah, sure, the 4 beats gyro could go for a bit more aggressive build with the rocket barrage, but we've seen these gyros go for these pure farming builds, the max flat cannon with just 1 homing missile point. Oh, ow. A bit of a pickle here. Mies just shooting some Acons his way, just scaring the support off a little bit here.
Yep, finding some space, but not too much pressure getting put on Beats, even with Owl pushed out of the lane a bit. So farming pretty happily, getting close to that Dire Tower, but it looks like this will be pushing back soon.
Yeah, so one thing I want to point out about the Radiant off lane is that as soon as Pepperboy gets this Ring of Health, which he's really closing in on, he does not care about Chikiro at all. Like the damage this Silencer is going to put out is very negligible, right? And especially against the PL, this is where the Axe can just go absolutely sicko mode in this top lane. Okay, pressure coming out here, proccing that Arcane Curse on the Battle Hunger just to really push that Silencer back. Yeah, Benji unrelenting here with the pressure, just slapping away, high base damage, high armor. Looks like he can. Oh, the tricks of the trade actually instantly kills this courier. Nicely done. That's huge. There's another one coming on the way as well. Oh, Benji. Is he gonna get a double? No way. Oh, this man.
Oh no,
he just goes for the jump
instead.
Yeah. He doesn't even care. Full inventory full of tangos here. Just scaring back the Sansa and really giving so much space for Pepperboy. And this is why we're about to see why the PL isn't really picked up so often, because it's a hero that can really get rolled over by a lot of offlaners and can't really stand his own. Sure, he can apply pressure, backed up by a good position 5, but now Pepperboy, he's the one running forward. Smacking away at Chikiro, giving him a bit of taste of his own medicine. Okay. Mid lane here though, we talked about Boots. Still holding his own pretty well, all things considered. Keeping up in terms of farm. Pretty even on last hits and denies thus far. Now, one thing to watch out for is the level 6 timing on both these heroes, because if Boots hits it first, he can just run straight ahead and potentially run down this Arc Warden. It still seems pretty even in EXP altogether, but we've seen how Arc Wardens, as soon as they hit the level 6, if the mana allows for it, just instantly summoning the clone and just going ham in the mid lane.
Yeah, that timing is going to be critical, and it's very close at the moment.
Yeah.
Slight lead in XP for Boots.
Yeah. But even then, not a lot of mana to work with at the present moment for this Lash, even for this Arc Warden actually, so we may not see anything come from that. All things considered, I'm hoping to see some stacks because that will be what benefits Beats in this build. He's gone 2 levels in Flat Cannon. I can only assume he's going to go for more. So I fully expect him to be playing in the triangle for a large portion of the early stage of this game. Benji gonna get forced back and nice ward immediately. So Chakiro, he knows that as well. He knows the Gyro wants to be here and he wants to spot out any stacks that could come and potentially a rotation from this Arc Warden.
Like, both mids hit 6 at almost exactly the same time.
Yeah.
He was
Ferrying
up with
himself
a bit more mana.
Yeah, that was intentful as well, right? Ferried herself a mango there in that mid lane, might be looking for something here. And all things considered, a very, very quiet early game as we hit the 6-minute mark. There is an Arcane Rune in the bot lane. I mean, both these mid laners would love to grab that. Boots guesses wrongly though. But I don't think Chio's in a position to really just go and contest that. But, you know, that's a little bit unfortunate here. Because, you know, it will really benefit the Arc Warden as well. But not feeling confident in controlling that rune when she doesn't see the support heroes at the moment.
All in service to
Chikiro, you know, 1 TP with the slow on the Arcane Curse, or maybe even the Bushwhack catching her off guard. Running forward, like you said, Boots just playing around a little bit, making use of that Arcane Rune. And yeah, I mean, all things considered, everyone just quietly farming away. I wouldn't say there's any core that's really suffering here. Everyone on both sides just content to kind of trade farm at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, all the lanes are shaking out very evenly. Even top lane, like both cores are at pretty much the same point, 28 and 28.
I'm just curious, do you think that this favors any particular side? Do you think Savoury characters are more happy with this situation, or do you think this is a SADBOYS going like, yeah, you know, we're getting everything we want right now?
I think Savoury characters lineup goes later than the SADBOYS lineup. It's pretty close because you have the PL as kind of the backup plan if they are going to look to create a lot of early pressure.
Thanks and have
Oh,
fun.
we missed it.
First
First
blood.
Mies setting out with that Bushwhack is what I'm presuming. Like, not even needing the ult. And I miss another kill as Pepperboy gets to spin down. So both safe lane cores going down
Yeah.
to the off lane duos here.
Yeah, this game is almost a perfect reflection through the lanes.
This is what is kind of scary though, because the Lycan, we talked about it, can really just close out the map. You were picking that Gyrocopter to try and relieve that pressure and stop you from getting run down, but if the Gyro falls a bit too far behind, especially with this build, it's not going to look too pretty.
Yeah, now mid lane,
Light has been...
Geo in trouble.
Oh,
Boots
Geo
run
gonna
down,
get run
goes
down.
both to
Boots, the
clone.
TP in from both supports to try and get this counter kill, but I don't know if they have the damage.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
the last
The
touch,
mango.
Benji.
I do my work at the cutting edge.
He's gonna die though.
Hello, this is Gabe Newell.
That's gonna be a double
for
kill.
playing
And that's
Dota
basically a
2.
2-for-1 in the mid lane. Nicely
Yeah.
played from Boots, just running down Chio. And once
wow.
again, Beats goes down, the ultimate from Light, like we said. Once you start to fall behind on this Gyro, it really gets a lot harder to stand your ground. And Helm of the Dominator not even needed, but completed now for Light. He's gonna just grab a creep, and the pressure on this bot lane is gonna be immense.
Yeah, grab the raised dead Dark Troll Summoner, so huge pile
Yeah.
of creeps now gonna be running down this tower.
I mean, even though it's very early on, and it's not like the gold lead is anything too crazy just yet, it's starting to... We know how explosive this SADBOYS lineup can be in terms of tempo. Speaking of explosive, they just pop the clone straight onto Boots, maybe getting a bit too big for his britches here, and gonna get taken down more than likely. Last touch from Benji, the shift in the back of the skull. That's gonna be enough to take down that Lash. Getting a bit overzealous, we're trying to get damage on that tower. We're gonna get pay the price for it.
Bottom tier 1 already going down. Beats coming back in to try to defend it, but there's just too many creeps from this Lycan.
Yeah. It's a very early tier 1 tower too, not even 10 minutes in.
There is little hope for Dire's.
Meanwhile, top side, they try to make a go onto X, but like we said, one of the weaknesses of the SADBOYS lineup right now, a big lack of stuns. Pepperboy just able to TP out of that one. And even though it's still relatively early in the game, it definitely feels like Pepperboy is the one sort of glimmer of hope that's going to deliver them out of this rather troublesome early game. I think especially against the Lycan is what I'm looking at, because I don't know which other hero can deal with him at the moment. He's getting so big so fast. 5k gold already in terms of net worth.
Yeah. Top of the charts and no signs of stopping. As soon as the full Helm of the Overlord is here, it's going to be a scary thing running at you.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Beats forced to even use his level 1 rocket barrage to really chase these wolves away, and even then, another fresh pair just summoned Light. It's being so annoying with these summons. His sniped couriers is given vision to clear wards. Seems like they want to play off this vision here. They want to invade further into this Radiant jungle. They know Beats was last seen in the area. Now Boots running forward. Doesn't exactly have the move speed. No boots or travels or anything like that just yet. A stray bushwhack catches Owl though. It's a good one. They actually pop the shapeshift from Light. Might be a bit preemptive, but not if Beats gets caught here. The wraparound. Oh no. They're looking for Chio to TP out. Heads up play there. The stun. Oh, narrowly off the mark. Boots. A little bit sooner and that would have been toasted Chio, but the regroup here on the side of Savoury characters. Still has the shapeshift available. Running through Owl. He's just gonna get melted down. So not respecting the ultimate still running there. They're gonna get soulbound up, but no crazy combos to work with. Oh, here comes Beats on the backline. Is this where he wanted to be? Fall down onto 2. X finds the call as well, and Boots just gonna get chopped down. Can he make it a double? Just lines him out and knocks him down. Chikiro makes one on the chopping block, but X has to back off. The arcane curse damage too strong. Mies force the Scurry away and run. One more charge on that. Flux, the damage is gonna be enough. And what a huge set of events for Savoury characters to turn that around there. We talked about Pepperboy being the shining ray of hope, and he delivers big time for the side of Savoury characters.
Yeah, that was a massive fight there, and that call was everything to turn that fight around. Set up by the Soulmind, and just finds all the heroes they need to.
I mean, that was done without Blink as well, right? So really huge for Pepperboy. As 12 minutes in, he's already like, what, 500 gold away from the Blink?
Yeah, that's going to be an early Blink, which is going to be scary for the side of SADBOYS.
For my coffee.
I mean, one thing about, I feel like SADBOYS, you know, they had a very good position there. They were setting up vision, but it definitely felt a bit over-eager from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they already had the shapeshift running out. They still kind of were hanging around. It seemed like a bit of miscommunication between Light and SB because Boots, because they were both like just kind of, one was trying to go up, one was trying to go down, and then they kind of got tangled up in their own feet there. But you know, one bad fight doesn't really mean too much. It does give Chio a lot of room to recover though, as she lives through it all.
Yeah, already back up at the top of the net worth now, ahead of the Lycan, who almost has this Helm of the Overlord completed.
Dude, can you imagine an ancient creep just running around? Who is gonna kill that thing?
Yeah, it's gonna be
it's gonna be a menace. Like, Owl is just gonna get gonged. Like, okay. Top side, nice smoke screen to cover their tracks on the retreat. Pepperboy perhaps finding a little too many adversaries for his own comfort. Vision being established here by Chikiro, just wants to safeguard this entry into the dire jungle and create this room for Shaq Sparrow to make use of. Diffusal Blade completed on this PL. The Ricky though, nice tricks of the trade, dodge out. Pepperboy running forward, wants to get the call. Oh, very preemptive global silence from Chikiro, perhaps a bit scared that the blink would come out. It's not one that he has at the moment. Oh, Boots winding up in the tree line, gets the stun out to Pepperboy. This is gonna be a huge kill. The Axe, if they find it, Chikiro tries for the chop. The last stroke of fate finishes off that support. But it's a really big kill for them, taking down Pepperboy. And looks like Owl might get run down too. The lightning gonna stab him in the little back of the robe there. Second charge. Does he have the move speed? Turns around, bushwhack onto Mies. And he'll be fine though, Benji. One parting smoke to send him off to the other world, but two for one trade there. Definitely really nice for SADBOYS to pick that one up.
Yep. A lot of that money going towards that Leshrac Bloodstone. Already has the recipe. Actually very close if they choose to break the Arcane Boots.
Yeah. And once that Leshrac Bloodstone comes on, it'll be a crazy timing that they hit, right? Bloodstone, Helm of the Dominator, and I mean they have the Diffuser on the TL as well. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Copping a little bit of damage from Shakiro there. Max Arcane Curse. Not a cute one to be dealing with.
Although that timing is going to come right around 15 minutes. Benj is 50 gold from the Sleeping Dart.
Oh.
I don't know if... Yeah, Beats has the Maelstrom. One of my teammates plays a lot of position 5 gyro, so I'm used to that being an important shard timing, but less so on the
yes.
gyro.
Yeah, no, that is an insane shot. Like,
yeah.
Gyro 5, absolutely deranged as a concept, but Blink Dagger actually completed on Pepperboy. It seems like he's kind of inching around, trying to find something here, but one thing I want to commend, is hold that thought, shape in the bot side, a simple bushwhack into just a sharpshooter, makes for quick work, that Gyrocopter gets grounded. And the entire side of Savoury characters gonna get spotted out by this nice deep ward, placed preemptively. Benji as well, starting off the mark unfortunately, and not gonna find anything. The Blink call in onto Light, I don't think they have the damage for this. Pepperboy heavily overestimating the amount of backup that he had. No one else is here, Global Silence as well, that's gonna be an axe in the grave. So I mean, they were already retreating, it seemed like they were out scot-free, but Axe makes a curious jump back in, perhaps feeling a little stronger than he actually is, and this is gonna be a healthy amount of pressure. And I was gonna commend, I think, the side of SADBOYS on this, but like really, their vision game has been very, very good in terms of setting up these, I guess, vantage points for aggression that they can use.
Yeah, this ward on the high ground spot in the Radiant jungle. Ooh, good lane.
Ooh,
nice little kill
the mid lane. Yeah, they get catch on the solo PL, definitely not ideal.
Should look to their middle tower.
This is one of those deaths on the position 1, where your team is doing so much work, and then suddenly your +1 dies, and it kind of feels like all your work is undone. Not really sure how that happened there.
Radiant should look to their bottom tower.
That's the 1k gold lead here, 17 minutes in. And yeah, once again, I do have to ask you again and again, Whitehall, because I myself am not too sure. Which side do you think this favors here? It definitely feels pretty even altogether, but it feels like both these drafts are just waiting to explode.
Yeah, I'm still feeling like the later this goes, the better a place Savoury characters is in. I think we're going to see the Lycan start to fall off. Boots, I mean, you can take a Leshrac pretty late into the game, so I'm less worried about there, and you still have the PL, of course. I don't know, I feel like Axe is always relevant throughout a game, Beats has plenty of room to go, and Arc Warden, like, there's a lot of carry potential on both of these teams, but like, gut says a little bit more in Savoury characters.
Oh, smoke. Coming out from SADBOYS, it's gonna get popped. Nice bit of vision there, Pepperboy, holding the Vanguard, and quick D-ward. That's all they're gonna find from it. Global Silence not available just yet, but they still want to keep going. Oh, Chio actually gonna get found the call to save the hero, but no! The shot shoots me, find it! Nice shot there from the Hoodwink, and what looked like a failed smoke gang quickly evaporates into disaster for the side of Savoury characters. They're just being run down and torn apart. 4 beats, forced to turn tail and run, but Light, with the shapeshift ending, gonna finally relent, but once again, a big swing back the other way. I wonder how they found Chio there, just getting caught out. A quick pause to probably just kind of take stock of how wonderfully that fight went for them. But yeah, I actually have no idea how that happened. How did they even find her?
I think it was just, she was farming the large camp here, and Light had committed the shapeshift, didn't want to keep going on to Pepperboy, and kept running forward. I don't know if they caught a glimpse of it just through the trees.
The quest for ultimate glory.
Yeah, but I mean, huge kill there on the Art Warden.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, and that sharpshooter to finish it off was insane. It looked like they were going to get the Art Warden safely out of there, and just splits the uprights exactly where they needed it.
Oh, that is so annoying. Boots was trying for the TP out to push out the side lanes. His cheeky sleep dart coming out from Benji to put stop to that.
Yeah.
And so far, very quiet game from Beats on this gyro. We thought it would do a lot more in the early stages in terms of alleviating this aggression, but really, more than anything, has been the recipient of it, right? Just being run down on top. Not so much you can do as the gyrocopter at this present moment, especially the flag build. The Lycans just had a completely free game.
Yeah. Yeah, this game has been all about Light's Lycan so far, and it's going to be some time before we see that pressure start to relent. Light's got the BKB and Assault Cuirass queued up. If they can get to these items quickly enough, then there's not going to be enough time for Savoury characters to hang into this game and take it
physical damage is just completely negligible, right? Once you get that AC, especially this early on.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of negligible, look at the amount of power pressure that's coming out between the Lash and the Lycan. They're just gonna rip this one to shreds.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
one thing to point out is Light has the shard. So just gonna get a free handy wolf on a lot of these creep waves, just continuing the pressure all across the map.
Yep, that is the sign that SADBOYS are committing to trying to win this game early. I think they're feeling what we're feeling, that Savoury Boys have the late game in this one. And because you know, like, the danger of the shard is that you're adding more creeps to the map for the enemies to farm. But if you feel like you've got the damage and you can close this game out quickly, then it's a really big benefit to your pushes.
Yeah. I mean, more than anything, the waves being pushed out just means more information, right? We talked about how, you know, SADBOYS, you just kind of want to run at you, and that's so enabled by the fact that, you know, the waves are pushed in, you can kind of just run past them, see exactly where they are. There's only so many areas it can be. It's exactly how Chio got caught just now in that fight as well. So, take a look at the carpet of vision just being laid out across the dire jungle here. There's not an inch of this area that they aren't keeping tabs on here. It's gonna be on the supports on Savoury characters to really just clear up this space and give room. I mean, it's been pretty quiet for Pepperboy ever since those few engagements where tried for the call, didn't necessarily work out just because of you know, didn't have enough backup damage. That might be, you know, a result of Beats not being as ahead as he wanted to be, and Chio just being the recipient of so much pressure. But you know, find something here that definitely feels like on Savoury characters soon.
Ooh. There's a nice little pickup. They get the Ancient on Beats from Light's Helm of the Overlord. So sweet little 250 gold there.
So a very interesting unorthodox sort of adjustment from both these calls on the side of Savoury characters, opting for Maelstrom on both Beats and Chio. Mjolnir already completed for this Arc Warden, so definitely not a very typical build that we see. In fact, we were talking about the Gleipnir, so not gonna have that one available.
Yeah,
but, we'll see what.
I'm a little surprised to see the Mjolnir chosen over the Gleipnir here. I feel like you get so much utility out of Gleipnir being an Arc Warden, getting to cast it twice.
Yeah.
Especially into the PL Illusions, the Lycan Horde. Like, there's a lot of good targets for Gleipnir.
It definitely feels like they have a different idea of the game, right? Because initially when they picked this Arc Warden, and even taking a look at the draft, it kind of looks like they want to play like poke at you from afar, just kind of chain the Gleipnirs, get the pickoffs and stuff like that with the sleep darts. But they might be approaching it a different way. It seems like with this item build, hold that thought, instant call in, straight out to Chikiro. This could be a huge kill if they can get it. Global Silence not available, gonna get swiped down. Owl, recipient of the damage though, Shaq Sparrow finds that support. The buyback and Global Silence though, trying to turn this fight. Pepperboy forced to turn there and run, and Cherry Lineria got a TP out as well. Beats popping that BKB, this is the timing they were trying to play for, and Mies gonna get mowed down by this Rocket Barrage, trying to dodge away with the Scurry, but that homing missile gonna finish the D. Benji, one dash away, the TP, can they get out of here? Oh, the damage, it's enough from Boots, from the Pulse Nova. They take down Benji, but they don't get the big core in Beats. All things considered, it still looks pretty good for the side of SADBOYS. It will cost them a buyback, on Chikiro.
Yeah, but only the supports dying there is very important for them, because it means that they get to push down these towers. You have the nice defense from the bubble, but it only does so much when it's a Lycan and a Leshrac hitting the towers.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, you already see how scary that teamfight can be, right? That basically went pretty decently to start things off for Savoury characters, but just wasn't good enough. You immediately pick out the silencer, take that global silence out of the equation, but there's the buyback as position 5 silencers like you do. Immediately turns the fight on its head there. It's a good try though. They try and make use of the BKB timing on the gyrocopter. I think that's not the worst, but Pepperboy, he's definitely fallen from grace a little bit in terms of the net worth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's already looking like this game is in Chio's hands for the side of Savoury characters, as far as where the farm's at right now.
But 5K
when all of
gold
your
lead
farm
here.
is doubled, that is,
Yeah.
it's 4 hands that it's in, not just 2.
That's true, that's true. I mean, if we know one thing about the Savoury characters is that Chio can carry a game on Out Water. That's not an issue, but especially if this slightly unorthodox build, I'm not really sure how it's going to work. So far, a lot of the times when we've seen Chio pull off these amazing sort of situations, it's the solo pickoffs all across the map, the immense single target pressure that she exerts just by having that clone and threatening the pickoffs with the glide layer, not having that component. I wonder how that's going to affect the potential for her to carry this game. I think this is something I was sorry to cut you off, but this is something that I was talking about. It definitely feels like they're thinking about this in a very different way. As we see a smoke move out, with this Mjolnir and the way they're setting up their heroes, it kind of feels like they want to gear Beats up to be this big raid boss that stands his ground and just fights. Pepperboy being caught out here. Easy setup on the side of SADBOYS as they just claim the axe kill.
Yeah, perfect set of chaining their stuns from the bushwhack into Split Earth. Really nicely executed. Makes you like not even question how little disable there is in this draft, because when you land one, it's curtains for so many heroes.
Yeah, so much damage. They're trying to push back the impending pressure coming up from the entire side of SADBOYS here. Keeping into the middle of it all, forced to pop BKB. Kind of an unceremonious one. Trying to take down the dragon here, Black Dragon. To get that kill. Nice little chunk of change. But that's the 8-second BKB used from your gyro. Sure, you relieve the pressure, but it's like you buy time for your axe to come back. I mean, SADBOYS, they're gonna be happy with that, but
yeah, 26 minutes and they even get
there's a feeling about that defense.
More than half of the damage onto the tier 3 tower.
Yeah.
They'll never see this coming.
They had the glyph available too on the side of Savoury characters, they just didn't want to use it. And you have to be so careful with that, because the second you use it, that SADBOYS 5-minute window to go like, yep, all your buildings belong to us. And White Hawk, true to my prediction, it seems like this one might go a little longer than...
Yeah, it's really gonna come down to if SADBOYS can find the damage here to close things out soon, which they might. Like, this game could end in 3 minutes, or it could end in 33 minutes.
Half an hour, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, SADBOYS, they're definitely in the driver's seat, it feels like, and they know it too. This is why we're seeing the repeat smokes out of them. They want to find a pick off to potentially open up Roche. They want to find a pick off to open up the towers. Beats does have his BKB cooldown back up at this point. Just clearing out some vision here. Unsuccessful in finding anything. We haven't been talking about Shaq Sparrow on this PL, but working his way towards the heart already. A very quiet but insidious component of this draft that could potentially bring them into the late game. BKB forced to be popped by Boots here. A global silence coming out. They're actually doing a lot of damage onto this Lash. Is it enough? Not able to pop the Bloodstone. Gets the chop off. The trade-off is there though. Benji immediately melts the dust as the Heartwater Clone trying to stand his ground and fight with the Mjolnir damage. Hero actually gonna go down 4 beats. No more BKB to work with. Is this really the fight you still want to keep taking? Light Shapeshift available. Me's not able to find the bushwhack. I say that slightly off the mark. Al gonna be the recipient of this immense physical damage. But that's not too bad. The supports for Leshrac, and like you say, SADBOYS, they kind of want to try and find something here, but every even trade is just even more time for Savoury characters to work with.
Yeah, this one is a much better fight for Savoury characters than the last. Where last time they only picked off the supports, here getting that Leshrac means it's a lot more work to push down these towers. for the side of SADBOYS. Now, they do have their Phantom Lancer, who's looking much more ready to fight, has the Heart of Tarask on the way, so that's now going to be a component of their pushing force. And that might be what allows them to keep this going. And Leshrac has respawned, so they're through that window already. It's going to be a fight around Roche, it looks like, next.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well equipped the side of Savoury characters are for that kind of fight. Especially with all the vision that's being given by the wolves, by the pushback, and the illusions just running forward. But I don't think either team has a very good Roche taking lineup, right? They're just kind of, it's one of those guarding the pit situations where you're looking at me, I'm looking at you. We both know we're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But if you step into the pit, I'm gonna fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those. Pepperboy, nice little bit of recovery farm for him. One component away from the BKB, gonna be huge in these fights to resist some of that magical damage just coming in and just shredding them apart. One thing SADBOYS don't have a problem with is damage, that's for sure. They've had no issues just killing these heroes, like you said. It makes the limited disables look like not so much of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
AC being flown out from light here might be another timing they choose to look at. A little bit more, they're a little bit scared about getting caught out in the way that they did. Speaking of getting caught out, ooh, Benji. He's on the hunt. Boots. I smell something. Leshrac getting set up. Good night, Boots. Also BKB. Global silence as well. Beats. Do you have enough physical damage to cut through this Lash at the moment? Has the Bloodstone active, and here comes the PL into the fray. But into Beats. 4 Beats stands his ground. Axe is gonna go down. So 1-for-1 trade at the moment. A nice bushwhack onto the clone as well. Down there, Ricky. Cherry Lineria still running forward and gonna get a kill onto Chihiro. So 2-for-2 trade once again. It's basically almost an exact same trade-off. Oh no, Light on the hunt with that shapeshift, but not gonna find anything else. So once again, another fight where Beats is able to stand his ground, do the damage. They take down Boots again. This Lash is not at the time of day in these fights thus far, but SADBOYS, they want to get something from this fight. They want to get Roche. They get straight into the pit.
Like you said, almost exactly the same trade-off, and so I'm excited to see SADBOYS going right into the pit this time, feeling like they have the tools to get that in place of having the tools to put down towers. And this is going to go uncontested. They have the vision, they have the positioning. Savoury characters still being forced to kind of regroup after the fight.
That actually, I don't know if this is slightly controversial, but I would have liked to see them actually wait for Boots to come back and pick up their Aegis.
Yeah.
I feel like so far the only way the Savoury characters have been winning the fights is just by insta-bursting down the Lash. And just because of that, there's such a large chunk of that magic damage that will otherwise be present in the fight, and a huge problem for these Savoury characters' heroes that's just not part of it anymore. Benji.
Yeah, Leshrac has definitely shown to be the more fragile of these three cores, who none of which are particularly easy to remove from a fight. I honestly feel like the Phantom Lancer should be feeling very comfortable.
Invincible, right?
Yeah,
like, I don't think he even dies.
Yeah, this is a really nice heart timing, and I feel like he would be pretty safe without that Aegis. You could have even given it to Light if you didn't want to stick around. But even with the vision control, I think you're right. I think they could have just sat in the pit, sat around the Aegis, and let Boots pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, what? Pepperboy's got to come in and call 2 people and just get instantly bushwhacked and killed. Like,
yeah.
I don't think that's... like, I don't know. I mean, it's a small nitpicky thing. I'm just concerned because I feel like this actually ends up stifling them a little bit. Sure, they can clamp down and really put the knee on the neck of Savoury characters and, I guess, caught them into this little area, but they were already going to play here regardless, right? There's nowhere else they can really go. And, I mean, Shaq, he's gearing up to potentially hit towers, but the Lash is the one that's going to make these buildings melt.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where it starts looking troublesome for SADBOYS. Are they able to use this Aegis to really close out this game? Because you can't just fully do the high ground dance against an Arc Warden the way that you often can. You can get this tier 2 tower, but if you try to just choke out the map, this Arc Warden clone is going to keep picking up farm, and this Arc Warden is going to get scarier and scarier. You're not going to be fully locking out the map the way that most teams do.
A lot more of a quiet game from this Benji Ricky than we're used to seeing based off the previous performance. I mean, where we last saw him play, he was absolutely styling on his opponents. This time, not so easy. And this is really a byproduct of, yeah, sure, you can pick your comfort heroes and the heroes you're good at, but when you pick them so early on in the draft, it becomes very easy to just, you don't even necessarily have to counter them, right? You just sort of pick heroes that naturally match up well.
Yep.
Like a bunch of heroes that don't really care about smokescreen. Sure, it's not like it stifles the Riki from doing his job, but suddenly he feels a lot less effective.
Yeah, all 3 cores are really okay with being silenced. You've got the PL and the Lycan who are just going to keep hitting you. They don't care that they don't have their spells. And then Leshrac is doing so much damage over time. I've talked about it a lot about like Leshrac into Silencer, but it works the same with the smoke screen, where as long as you've already cast your spells, you don't need to keep casting.
A call out onto Sparrow. He has that Aegis. This is going to be the first life of just going down very easily. He's getting melted by this damage. There's so much coming out. That must have been the Mjolnir procs just going buzz. And I mean, we talk about Sparrow feeling invulnerable. Maybe that's why he took that Aegis. It looked a bit dicey for him, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 Mjolnirs on the side of Savoury characters, and
yeah, they ain't fucking around.
Yeah. They get to sleep on Leshrac. I don't know if they'll be able to convert that into anything.
Sange and Kaya completed. Kaya and Sange, sorry, completed for boot. So a large bit of self-healing amp as well as status resist. Gonna come in very handy for him. But I mean, the side of Savoury characters, they can keep this up just about forever. That's the one downside of the SADBOYS draft, right? You don't really have initiation on the back line like maybe the Axe can offer. All you have is a run at you and hope for the best. And if the side of Savoury characters continue to keep their distance, continue to use their spells well, and clear the creep wave, there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, you actually have a really sneaky, like, great high ground defending draft here. With the Grimstroke, they get the rocket on a real PL.
Yeah, but Aegis, I mean, 30 seconds left. You'd love to sort of wait for that to time out, but they're just trying to push on both fronts here, right? They know that the side of Savoury character sort of has to stay compact, and they're just trying to use that as much as possible here. Some pressure on both fronts, but Cherry Linoria, like we said, with that magnetic field, makes it so hard to push up into.
Yeah, you've got the magnetic field, you've got the AoE damage. Oh, they get a call.
Oh, they're on to Sparrow. The Aegis is down in 3 seconds. If they get this kill, it could be perfectly timed. Sparrow with the meta out. The chop onto the wrong one. Illusion is going to get stunned up. The real PL. But now they're turning the fight light. Standing in the thick of it all against Beats. Forced to pop the BKB on their gyrocopter to fend off the assailants of SADBOYS. But could have been an absolute disaster. They narrowly get out of that one. SADBOYS get away with what I feel like was murder there.
Yeah.
That was a really nice pick off on the, or at least good try on the PL, but I think layering the disables a little bit there. Pepperboy jumped in with the call, but unfortunately, immediate sort of sleep dart, and now Pepperboy might be in trouble. Shakiro taking a lot of damage from that blade mail. Gonna be able to force stuff out of that one. I mean, very, very scary stuff going up against this high ground defense, that's for sure.
Yeah, you have to be really careful what you show. This is actually a game where the kind of caster Phantom Lancer starts looking really good, where you never have to show your real hero up the high ground. You just keep throwing illusions in.
This is not a sustainable game to play PL in anymore. It looked like it could potentially outscale, but it's just the build, right, that these two cores went for. The double Mjolnir is just way too strong.
Yeah, they have so much AoE damage, plus the axe as well. 2 Mjolnirs, it's really surprising how fragile this PL can look.
When you think about a Art Warden build, I don't think Chio's inventory is what you're really thinking about, but it's really worked out for her in this game in particular, right? I think the BKB as well, allowing the clone to have that magic immunity so it doesn't just insta-die to the Lash or something like that, is actually really huge. Oh, Pepperboy, being found out here. They want to jump on the boots, but getting cancelled, the blink. Nice sort of pseudo save there from Sparrow, just keeping the axe at bay and not allowing that call to come out. Light, gonna pop the shapeshift. They want to get the fire of the beats. Pops the BKB and jump in. The call is gonna miss, not land on anyone. Benji going down, and the global science comes out as well. Shakiro not under any threat, and meanwhile being run down is the other support. Al not able to get Soulbind off, and now Pepperboy, the recipient of all that physical damage. Terry Linoria trying to do what she can, takes down the Leshrac. What else can you find here on the side of SADBOYS? Still trying to run forward. Beats, no more BKB available. This gyrocopter is in trouble, and this gyrocopter goes down.
It's Chio versus the world, and I'm not sure that that's a problem for Savoury characters. That's going to be the first usage of the real BKB on the real Arc Warden, but...
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
I mean, it's costly, and I
Yeah,
don't know whether
the
Chio can
buyback
pull this
from
off on
Boots
her own, but
could actually be the difference in this one.
And this is what we were talking about from the get-go, right? So Lesh, who's going to be the one mowing down these towers, and now Boots finally has the room to do so. Here comes Benji running forward. Oh, the sleep dart. They have the Soulbind and the Soulbind and the damage though, but Bloodstone active, ticking away, and Boots gonna be able to get out of that one.
Meanwhile,
Light
Light in the bot lane finding these barracks. The mean game that SADBOYS are playing, but it's working.
This is a defense of the ancients, like quite literally. Like this is like this kind of feels like one of those like StarCraft 2 campaigns. I'm not sure if you ever played where like there's just an unrelenting horde of Zerg and you like kind of have to just fend them off. That's what it feels like for sure. It's so pesky. And you have like the one raid boss in Chio, but like Chio can only do so much.
Yeah. Yeah, defense of the Ancient at this point, because it's going to be a while before we see the Dire Ancient threatened, but I still think this is a very winnable game for Savoury characters.
Yeah, it's winnable in just about half an hour, I think. For now, it's a little bit tough to sort of see where they can go on the map. I think just the sheer amount of control and pressure being placed by these illusions, by these additional wolves just in the creep waves, just auto-pushing the lanes. They smoke out to try and find something here they could. Stumble across Shack Sparrow. I don't know if they see him, the daytime vision. They want to jump forward. Do they see the real PL?
They get the sleep.
Get the sleeping. Is it enough? The call for now. Where's the follow-up damage? They get the silence off. He has a manta available, but the chop.
Wow.
That's Shack's huge pick-off. We were wondering where they were going to find some action. The exact right path to take to lead them to that huge PL kill. It's unfortunate that Benji's the one to grab it. But not too bad, not too shabby. Even more time bought for the side of Savoury characters here.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need. Even if that pickoff isn't giving them an opportunity to go take an objective, it's just giving them more time to farm and get closer to bringing this game back. I mean, Chio's still been far and away at the top of the net worth charts.
Absolutely.
They do have to keep an eye on their base though. Lycan is going to keep throwing waves of enemies at these barracks.
Yeah. As we've seen before, no issue with the wave clear, but of course you can't wave clear if no one's here. And that's what Light is looking to do the entire time, right? Just sending the army of creeps to your door. And knock knock, if no one's home, bye-bye buildings. And Mies opting for a gem here just to try and close out the map even more. I think this is what I was talking about at least a little bit earlier on. Thought that, you know, the vision control coming out from these SADBOYS supports were really good. And it still is, right? They still have very good vision in these exit areas on the map where Savoury characters want to play. But now Roche is actually going to be up in 2 seconds here. It's going to be another spot for contention.
Benji just misses the Roche spot.
Very unfortunate. But even then, I don't know if you can Roche here.
No, it's mostly about knowing if it's available. Okay, Chio's going to spot it out, it looks like.
Yeah. I don't think that gives enough vision though. I don't think you spot it. Because it... Yeah, I don't think it does.
Okay, it's just going to give the information of when SADBOYS move in this case. It's
okay, now they see it because it chased the Phantom illusion to right in front.
Okay, so both teams are now aware that Roche is available.
Yeah.
I think it's still, like you said before, a matter of, like, neither team really wants to commit to Roche. They don't have amazing Roche taking capabilities. Maybe now Savoury characters does with enough damage on this Arc Warden.
Yeah. But I still don't think you want to put the Outwater in that sort of position. That's a scary thing.
Yeah, because I think both teams have very good counter Roche teams.
Shapeshift being used here. They're looking for Pepper Boy. You don't find anything. It seems like they have the wolf bite. Checks on the hunt. Pepperboy has the BKB available. This could be the axe taken down very early. Turns around with the BKB and the call onto 2. But where is the follow-up damage? Beats coming into the fray as well. The big bad gyrocopter's here to party. And Light is gonna go down. Those are 2 calls without buyback. And they're just getting knocked apart. Pepperboy, he's starting to combo damage as well. The boots. He's trying to turn it around. Cherry Linaria has that BKB and holds the high ground. Get out of my side of the map, say Savoury characters. And this might be a straight go into the Roche, the Gematru site. Gonna try and be recovered by the courier here. And no, Al picks it up. And immediately into a Roche. What a... And more than anything, a bit of overextension there from SADBOYS. They were getting a bit too sort of, I guess, itchy for something that happened. They wanted to make a move. They felt the lead slipping away from them. But this opens up a free Roche for the side of Sage. And oh my god.
I think they ran into a situation where they decided that they were fully committing on this engagement with the smoke and with the wolf bite. It was a really big timing for them, and their target just got too far away before they really collided, and so they run into the axe right at the bottom of this high ground, and Savoury characters is just ready and waiting for them in the triangle.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like the whole game, Pepperboy's whole challenge is like, how do I get everybody in a call? And they're like, you know what? We'll line up for it. We'll just both run at you with full speed. You know what? I'm gonna buy an item that helps the PL get in there as well. And we'll just serve you up the perfect call you were looking for every single time. I mean, Pepperboy, he's had a bit of a shaky mid-game, that's for sure, by no fault of his own. But that bait was humongous for the side of Savoury characters. That opens up the map in such a huge way. We talk about the vision control. It's evaporating slowly but surely for the side of SADBOYS right now. And now a smoke move out. They want to find more.
Yeah, this axe pick is looking so good into the Lycan Phantom Lancer. And even the Leshrac is often in the middle of fights because that's where they're most damage.
Gonna be a swing and a miss onto both supports here, but they're immediately gonna spot them out. Nice soul buy, catching them both. Global Silence Force and the Force Staff out. BKB used from Pepperboy there, not ideal. They keep up the BKB on Light, trying to chase down 4 beats. The call to Lycan yet again. The clone is just hitting away, and this poor Lycan is forced to run. Boots is into the fray though, and Bloodstone BKB active. Al gonna get chased down by Shaq Sparrow. That's the gem out of the picture. Beats BKB is gonna run down as well, but he still has that Satanic and the Aegis. First life down. Boots still being able to do damage, but now Chio's in some trouble. Chio standing her ground. Chio's gonna go down. There's the Art Warden out of the picture and beats the last remaining bastion for the side of Savoury characters. But this time it's them who overextended. Or have I spoken too soon? Beats no mana. Satanic pinball still standing his ground, but the illusion spam, it's way too much. And the smoke screen doesn't come down in time. There's still a gem in the trees, but they don't spot it out. The ping is there. Benji's gonna grab it now.
Oh.
Benji. Oh. Benji.
Be careful though, because now the gem is picked up.
And he's gonna go down for that one. A little bit of hesitance, trying to manage that inventory, pays the price for it. And just like that, the buyback's gonna have to come out. A Rex is going down without them knowing. And just as quickly as we were applauding the side of Savoury characters for their patience, they're the ones who sort of feel a bit too antsy in that engagement.
Yeah, that felt like a razor's edge for that engagement on the side of SADBOYS.
Yeah. And just because of that, they paid the price of 2 full sets of rags for it. Now Light as well, just gonna try and head towards that third. So what can you really do? This Lycan has so much objective pressure, forcing the buyback from Beats as well, and Light is just gonna walk away from this one. Still has the BKB available. Oh no, Pepperboy finds him. A call again. The blade mail damage is so much, forcing the BKB and the chop, but not managing to get the last bit of damage. And Light is gonna be laughing all the way to the bank as he jumps out of there. Oh, this is a huge opening now. The SADBOYS buyback's committed. And oh man, this definitely felt like it was in Savoury characters' hands to just kind of claw back, but one fatal mistake, and they're right back where they started.
Yeah, that's the scary thing, is Savoury characters really have to execute pretty perfectly through the rest of this game, because they have still a lot of buildings that they need to chew through to get through this Ancient. Whereas SADBOYS, you know, as soon as there's not enemy heroes with all of this high ground defense in their way, that Radiant Ancient is just going to disappear.
I mean, we saw it literally just happen, right? They lost everyone. There's no heroes in the on the base, but still, just because of these wolves, like we said, the constant pressure shoving in these creep waves, it's just so hard to deal up against when you're not just constantly defending. But if you're constantly defending, you're just kind of waiting to get gone upon. It's such a tough situation.
Mm-hmm. Looks like we'll be back to favorite characters playing the high ground defense game. Still got a ways to go before the next Aegis is available. So we'll see if SADBOYS are going to hold out the patience until that Aegis. If they're going to try to force something, look for a pick before that.
Let's take a quick look at the item timings here. Abyssal Blade Skadi completed for this Phantom Lancer. Shaq is online for sure. Light as well, you know, he's sort of had a bit of a rougher fight because he's just kind of being focused down now, but like we said, the Wolf Bite, Abyssal Blade of his own, and Havoc Hammer just keeps the pesky sort of heroes off him. Lotus Orb for Mies and working on a Maelstrom as well just for that additional wave clear. Potentially into the Gleipnir for some additional disable. But yeah, Shiva's as well, just a nice chunk of armor, and I don't... It's still, the thing is, it's not out of the woods, right? Chio is still so strong, but no buybacks available makes things so picky.
Yeah.
You have it on Pepperboy and you have it on Owl, but that's about it. And all you can really try to do is split push with the clones, which Chio's doing well. But what else do you got in the tank right now?
The bright point is that for the moment, there aren't many buybacks available on SADBOYS. Mies is about to have the cash for it. And they're not far away from it. They should have more of their buybacks soon. They won on Light for a bit, choosing to buy out for whatever their most recent item was.
Pepperboy. New Shaq was in the tree lines. Not quick enough though on that jump call. Unfortunate, they get the courier on Owl, that would have been the Aghanims. Now, I don't know whether the Aghanims is that good this game, but if you just get a copy of the Lycan, or even the PL, you can start creating your own clones or get so many auras on your own side.
Yeah, I like the Grimstroke Ags in this kind of game. As soon as you're in this situation where there's some terrifying enemy cores, even one
On them
I
against
think
himself.
is good enough. But yeah, getting to turret and the enemy team against themselves can be one of the strongest things a Grimstroke can do. I also found they recently adjusted it to go through BKB, which is really nice upgrade for the Grimstroke.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to worry about if heroes are BKB'd, especially because Soulbind also goes through BKB. You can always guarantee get 2 Dark Portraits.
Yeah, and I think more so than anything, this build works out especially because Owl is never going to be around in the fights for long. Right? If the fights are going, I mean, however the fights are going, yeah, fucking honestly. I'm not going to all chat because that's cringe, but like, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm so late for work. Fuck. But Chio's not wrong. 52 minutes in, we're only 8 minutes away from tier 5 items here.
Yep.
And the madness has only just begun. I mean, we talked about it. You mentioned this around 20 minutes ago. White Dog, this game could end in 3 or it could end in 30. It's looking more like the latter right now.
Yep. And still feeling like it could very much go either way.
Yeah.
It's, I think, still SADBOY's game to lose, but the path there is very much in play for Savoury characters. They have so much damage.
I'm kind of terrified because I feel like Beats, like he's just gonna keep scaling. Like you've sort of stamped out this gyro very early on, but he's been able to really come back into his own in this game, and he's only gonna get scarier and scarier as the game goes on. Once you get stuff like the eggs or the, I mean now you have Satanic, he's looking at Divine Rapier, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I kind of get what he's thinking. And Beats,
yeah,
he's always been a bit of a Hail Mary player, so you know, you're thinking, okay, you know what? If we wait any longer, they're eventually gonna find an opening to take down our Rex anyway. So I need to sort of win it in one fell swoop.
Yeah, I think I like the Divine Rapier here from Beats because I think it doesn't matter. Once you lose a fight, the game is lost
over
anyway. Like,
that's true.
I guess buybacks can play into it to like give you that one last stand, but for the most part, because of how fast this Dire team pushes, like it doesn't really make a difference whether or not you give them a rapier.
I'm just curious because I wonder what's next for some of these heroes on the side of Savoury characters, right? It's been quite quiet. Benji and Owl, they've just been playing on pure poverty mode. Like just one Aeon Disc and one Aether Lens on Benji. And the Roche is up, so SADBOYS, they're just gonna get that one for themselves. Has the Axe available as well. That might be handy to go over to the Hoodwing actually, but...
This is really dangerous for Savoury characters. The smoke comes out too late to test the Roche, and now they need to get out of here. They do very smartly, very quickly retreat back to base as soon as they hear the Roche die.
This is interesting though. Nihilism gonna be coming out from this Lash. It's gonna make the fights so difficult. But the main scary thing that I fear is that Nihilism, it turns everyone into... It turns them ethereal, right? But like, basically doesn't that screw over your PL and your Lycan?
Yeah, that feels like that plays against everything else your team is trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, it does keep you alive, right? Because then they can't really fuck with you that much in terms of the beats damage that's been shredding him apart, but... I don't know. It's a bit... It definitely makes things a bit awkward. I would have loved to see it more on maybe like the footway with like the decoy. You know what I mean? That like just an additional bit of pressure and they don't know where the sharpshooter is coming from. Break up the axe or something like that. I mean, this, ladies and gents, is why you ban the Chio Arc Warden. Even if you win this one, SADBOYS, they're gonna be not feeling very happy about it. Because it's taken them so bloody long. It's just a mental game, right? How long can you hold out? E-Blade completed for Chio as well. Some of that burst popping the stone here and the magnetic field. You can't really breach into this one. Boots the one with the Aegis, has the Arcane Blink as well. We're just gonna... Oh my god, Boots! Boots!
No way!
You fancy deer for dinner tonight? Savoury characters definitely do. The call out, the check Sparrow. E-Blade in, the huge stun onto 2. Is it enough? Cherry Lineria standing her ground right now, but Boots gets shredded apart. And the rest of the side Savoury characters, they're making quick work of SADBOYS right now. Immediately melting, but the buyback's coming out in full force here. You don't really have a lot else to offer, but the Axe buyback beats out of the fray for 2 minutes. Mass buybacks as the last Rex being threatened here. But Gio standing through it all. Here comes the call again. Pepperboy into the fray. Has a Havoc Hammer, has a Blade Mail, but not a lot of backup to work with at the moment. Smokescreen gonna buy him some space. The magnetic field as well. But now Boots into the back line. Has the Nihilism, turning them all ethereal as Cherry Lineria doing her best to turn this game around to hold the fort. But Beats is back into the fray. Found the buyback, go through all the kills. And now Shaq Sparrow, you're all alone here. You're left high and dry. Shaq Sparrow, just one last Rex. You need to turn around and finish it. Chuck Hero doing, but just getting away for dear life, but nothing else to offer. As Shaq Sparrow, the last remaining member on the side of SADBOYS. Doppelganger away, the chase down. Benji, sleep dart. Good night, Shaq Sparrow. Could this be the one side? Damage is in. And how the fuck have Savoury characters done this? They need to defend the base. One last Rex. And this is the opening they could be looking for, SADBOYS. 3 members have the buyback, but how much can you get here, Savoury characters? You need to grab and squeeze every inch of the map as you can from this one.
Yeah, this game's not over for a while. they haven't taken any tier 2 towers, and there's still 3 buybacks on the side of SADBOYS. This game is going the distance. I have a question that I don't expect you to be able to answer. How does Beats still have a Divine Rapier?
I think where he died in that previous fight was probably in a situation where there was so much chaos because like there were gems on the deck. I don't think anyone was thinking, oh, pick up the rapier. I think it was just a matter of he probably got the rapier killed. Somebody, like maybe he picked it up or something like that when he came back with the buyback. But I mean, you talk about them not having tier 2s, they're not too concerned about that at the moment. They have magnetic field and they have such high damage coming out from these calls. You don't want to spend buybacks on SADBOYS because that's their window to win the game, but this might be their window to fucking lose the game. If I just go for down here and try and threaten, buyback, you wouldn't want to use it here. Another fortification, that's going to tie them over for now. Savoury characters, they might need to back off. The shapeshift available and the chase could be on.
The magnetic field secures the barracks there because it just completely negates the fortify.
Yeah. And I mean, the magnetic field, we saw Chio get this bubble early on, right, from the Aghanims, from the Egg Shard in the Roche Pit. Provides allies with magic resist, 40%.
Yeah,
and
that
movement slow and
is-
pushes them out. That is something that we didn't talk about, but it's huge against the Lash.
Mhm.
Oh, Mies. It's really who you want to be squaring up against. This clone is big, bad, and will come for your neck. One more minute until the 60-minute mark. We're gonna get absolute madness as if it wasn't already here. My
Bench
God,
just
what
found
a...
the
this
second
was a
gen
off-
hiding by the Radiant Barracks.
This is actually awful. I can't... The sad part is, I'm not gonna be able to get the most of this game. The sad part is, Pepperboy might be getting caught without buyback.
Oh,
this
no.
X is just gonna get sniped down.
By my edict.
Far from ideal here. And if this is how they end up going out, it'll be with a whimper, but not a bang. 40 seconds left. And Chio's trying to make as much space as possible. Takes down the Korea. Yeah, gets the kill. BKB being used as well. So nice little chunk of change, but trying to drag the creep wave as far away from the base as possible. And succeeds in doing so. They can't actually take that clone down because no stuns.
Yet your failure lives on.
This is a big
Oh,
window
wow.
for SADBOYS.
Oh, the golem. Oh, the golem. Stopped by the thank goodness. Jesus Christ.
Seen someone bleed out in a net? No.
Yeah, this is a big window though, like you said. The X, 44 seconds. It's not the longest death timer at this point.
No,
Sad
but
boys,
it
you can
is a
imagine we
death
wanna...
before 60 minutes, and so this is going to give SADBOYS the opportunity to have uncontested tier 5 items.
Haven't grabbed any thus far. I mean, this timing window, like you said, is closing a little bit if they don't go now.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to be able to have the chance to push here.
They would love to get this last Rex, but I don't think they can.
Megas here would be huge if they can secure it, but Axe is up in 10.
They're sizing up for it here. Roots linking in. They're just trying to pull send on this Rex, but was this a mistake? Sovine coming out, checks Sparrow, has the DD. Looks like they're gonna get the Megas, but what price do they pay for it? The double BKBs popped on both calls with the Bissell on the Geo. There's the buyback available, 4 stuff out as well. E-blading herself just to keep herself alive. Beats still standing in the midst of it all. Has the Divine Rapier and takes down the Lycan. Has the buyback available on Light for now, but what else can they find from this? They need to get more. Seeping down the check Sparrow again. The silence out. The jump forward. Can they kill this PL? Doppelgangers up to the high ground, and looks like there's no more chase to be found. The call out. They find Mies in the tree lines though. That's gonna be just about all they get. Meanwhile, mid lane, Boots.
There is a wolf
Lycan wolf from-
Leshrac hitting these towers.
Quite literally the wolf in sheep's clothing. They get the kill onto Mies after extended chase in the tree line here, but suddenly things have gotten a lot more dire. Quite literally. Mega creeps now. There's gonna be constant pressure in the base. That's not gonna be so simple for them to just full send a push again. Like you say, 60-minute items. It's within SADBOYS' capacity to grab. Let's see what they have now. Giant's Ring picked up by the Lash. This is gonna be one big bad deal.
For me.
Sends it back though.
This is an opportunity for Savoury characters to start finding some tier 5s of their own. Fallen Sky, Book of the Dead. Savoury, that Fallen Sky, SADBOYS, that Fallen Sky can be really, really scary as an initiation tool. Oh, are they gonna find Jakiro here?
Pick up the define. Yeah. He has the gem, but he didn't react in time and he's just gonna get melted down. You have a follow-up available. The shot on that gyrocopter gonna provide that chase, the last touch, and that's gonna be a gem on the deck. They need to end the game and they need to end it now. They don't have buyback on that silencer. That's gonna be global silence out of the picture for 80 seconds. Still doesn't have it, and they need to try and end the game now. They need to watch out for a backdoor though. They have that glyph available, but they're gonna full send it. Buybacks forced out. They just want to end this game right here, right now. They want to put a stop to this madness. They want to stop this infinite backdoor as Benji trying to create the distance. Can they just take down this Rex? The magnetic field. They're doing the damage. Are you fucking serious?
Oh my god. Just like that, the Dire Ancient disappears. Savoury characters take game 1. They push it to 60 minutes. And they make it happen with this Arc Warden and Gyrocopter. What a fucking game.
how are you not just like mentally broken after that fight? After that game, like,
Yeah. That
okay,
is.
oh my god. Okay, I would love to kind of stay here and talk about it with you, but I really really gotta go. But it was
Yeah,
fucking fun getting to witness this game with you. Please bring my blessings into the next one. Make it fucking count, man. I'm gonna be watching from work. So, holy fuck, what a game. But thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna pop off first. See you, man.
for sure, for sure. See you. Thanks for joining me. Alright, I'm trying to think what else I can even say about this game. I mean, we kind of gave you the whole story as it went through. SADBOYS were looking like they had it for so long, but just not able to find the high ground. I mean, they were slowly but surely chunking away at this high ground. The game ended with Megas in the Radiant base, no tier 4 towers, but it was just enough. The damage was there, the Divine Rapier on beats. Look at some graphs. Chio's net worth just in another universe the entire time on this Arc Warden, which was offset by Pepperboy being with the supports on the axe by the end of the game, and the 3 dire cores shaking things up in the middle. Man, I mean, the MVP has to go to the Arc Warden, I feel like, for seeing this game through to the end. Support MVP is hard. I think I'm going to give it to Chikiro. I'm going to give it to Chikiro for 48 centuries, 2 gems, 24... Mia's only bought 4 observers? What are you doing? I mean, at least we got a gem later. But, like, help your silencer out here. Yeah, I'm giving it to Shakira. The globals were really on point in this game, too. Yeah, what a game. I'm gonna step away for a quick sec, get some more water. I'm really glad that I had perma for this game, so that we don't either of us have to shoutcast both games, because his voice has got to be dead. My voice would have been dead if I had to do that game. All right, we'll be right back for game 2. All right, we're back for game number 2. Savoury characters took game number 1 in an
Radiant's
absolutely
turn to
bonkers game. If you missed it, you've got a hell of a VOD to catch up on.
Dire's turn to ban.
Immediately the respect. You gotta have it. Arc Warden ban comes out. It's a little easier to make the Arc Warden ban here. There's the Lycan, which we did see first phase last time, and it was really scary. Almost got SADBOYS there in the early game.
Radiant's turn
Ricky,
to ban.
and then, yeah, the Lina. You've got to ban the Lina as well when you don't have first pick, so that opens up SADBOYS bans a little bit.
Seconds.
Alright, what do SADBOYS open with? It's going to be the Hoodwink. It does block the Hoodwink pick for Savoury characters who do enjoy it. It is their most picked hero for Benji.
Seconds.
And it looks pretty good on Mies. Mies was
5 seconds
doing a lot of work
remaining.
with that Bushwhack. I do really like this support as a
Dire's
position
turn
for
to pick.
Savoury gonna go to the Rubik. This is their next most played support for picks. I think this is a specialty of their 5 position.
10 seconds remain.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a Winking Owl hero.
5 seconds.
Lead things off for that. It does a nice job of kind of closing out the draft. It's similar to a Silencer or a Ancient Apparition that just kind of represents some bans in the form of a pick. It's really scary to pick up certain heroes like Enigma that have a really scary teamfight ult that's easy for Rubik to steal.
Radiant must
See what they continue with.
Lion.
It's going to be the Lion for Benji. So they'll just show the support duo to start out with. Pretty classic way to start out a draft. And a nice little pairing. Both have really good disable. Nice single target pick off for both of these heroes. Nothing crazy to start things out.
5
Much
seconds remain.
much more basic of a draft opening so far than the Arc Warden Lycan that we had last time. So going to be a very different game off the bat. See what SADBOYS close out the first
It
phase
is
with.
Radiant's ban.
They're gonna go with the Viper. I like that. Goes well with the Hoodwink, because you just get a bunch of AoE damage into the Bushwhack target. You also, it's a pretty resilient hero. You're not nearly as scared of the Rubik or Lion. Very stable and pretty flexible in
10
where you're able to play it.
seconds. 5 seconds.
Get into our second set of bans.
Dire's turn to ban.
Start with the Ursa. Another good stable core. Does a good job of resisting a lot of damage that you'll have coming out from your Viper. And your Hoodwink. Hoodwink's a pretty high damage support. 3 pretty high damage supports shown in the draft so far.
10 seconds.
So
remain.
expecting to see some of the more durable cores banned, which will be interesting
5 seconds remain.
because both teams are probably
It is
looking for
Radiant's
a
ban.
similar thing. Silencer are going to get banned out, more respect thrown the way
Dire's
of
turn to
Hero.
ban.
Juggernaut going to get banned. Yeah, that's the kind of core that I might expect Savoury characters to go with here. A little surprising to see the true position 1 heroes getting banned out more.
10
Um,
seconds.
Savoury characters have a lot of
5
their
seconds
team's
remain.
power on Chio, who often will go in the mid lane and plays more of the... Like, that's where the Arc Ward and Lina bans come from, and those are some of the scariest heroes that she can play.
Radiant's turn to ban.
But I think there's still more options that could be threats here. I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Naga Siren ban come out. I think that's what I would round this out with. Because Savoury characters, I believe, have also shown the ability to be a little flexible with where they play their position 1 and 2.
10 seconds
Um,
remain. Dire's ban.
It's going to be the Dawnbreaker to finish out the bans. And I guess that Naga doesn't love playing into a Hoodwink Viper. So maybe they're feeling like the kind of illusion draft is already handled. I feel like we normally see in most of our WLDL games a lot more illusion heroes getting banned out. It's going to be the Spectre ban and immediately into the Drow. So yeah, those resilient position 1s, Ursa, Juggernaut, Lifestealer, Spectre, exactly what we're expecting from both teams with how much high damage they have. No built-in
10 seconds
Uh,
remain.
spell immunity available in the game anymore either.
5 seconds.
Yeah, the Drow's a pretty good, stable 15 pick. Immediately going to pick up the Clockwork. I like this a lot as an answer to the Drow. It gives you a really good tool to get on the Drow Ranger. It's a little interesting to play both Hoodwink and Clockwork, but Clockwork works fine as a position 5 as long as you have a ranged core to go with it. Or what you can do is, Hoodwink also works fine as a 5. We're going to go Sniper. So they're just going to try to outrange this Drow Ranger. And yeah, so that lane works really well, Clockwork Sniper. I like the Clockwork Viper lane too. And actually, this might be a mid lane Sniper. They've definitely got the option to flex it. I believe both Shaq and Boots are comfortable on the Sniper. Boots is particularly good on the Sniper, so I expect them to be able to be preferring playing that mid. And Savoury characters are going to go back to the Axe to round out the middle phase. I don't know if I love an Axe here, because it does well into the Sniper, but you've already got the break on the Viper and the Hoodwink. You actually... SADBOYS led this draft with 2 sources of break. Which I think is where the Spectre ban comes from. I'm interested if a Phantom Assassin might come out. I think that would work pretty well with SADBOYS draft if they play the Sniper mid. It's a little bit of a greedy lineup, but I think they can get away with it. And it's pretty protected.
10 seconds.
You have a lot of nuke on the side of Savoury characters, so it's not the
5
best
seconds
Phantom Assassin
remain.
game. But those supports also get eaten alive. It gives you a tool to get on the Drow, granted into the Silence with the Gust.
It is Dire's ban.
I'm going to ban the Quap and the Tusk on SADBOYS. So they're expecting this Drow Ranger to be in a side lane. I think there's a decent chance that Chio plays this Drow Ranger mid. But maybe not if it's going to be staring down a Sniper, because I think that's a pretty Sniper-favored
10
lane,
seconds.
just with the range advantage. I don't know, definitely
5
flexible on both
seconds.
sides, whether or not these range carries are going in the mid lane or the safe lane.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Ember Spirit, and then they're going to round it off with a respect on Boots' Leshrac. So Savoury characters expecting the Sniper to be in the safe lane, both sides expecting the Drow and the Sniper respectively to be in the safe lane, and I don't know if that's actually the case.
10 seconds remain. 5 seconds.
We haven't seen a Drow from Savoury characters yet, so we don't have any past precedent of where this is going.
Dire must choose.
Wraith King.
Ooh, it's gonna be a Wraith King, so this is a mid-sniper. Instantly! The Broodmother last pick for Chio. So it is going to be beats in the safe lane on this Drow Ranger, and most likely a mid-Broodmother. Very, very spicy. This is, at the beginning of last game, I think I was still muted on my stream, but I think on Perma's stream, we were chatting a bit about the fact that we've talked to Cheo about some draft strategies and stuff, and we were a little privy to the fact that a Broodmother might be in the cards for this team. So I'm very interested in seeing how this plays out. It does look pretty open in this game. There's not a ton of AoE damage with that last pick, Wraith King. The Viper is kind of the biggest answer to the Broodmother. I'm curious if SADBOYS are going to be willing to swap their lanes around. Because I think if you can get the Viper laned against the Broodmother, then that lane goes very poorly. But I don't know how comfortable Light is playing in the mid lane, assuming that's where Chio is going to play. Also worth mentioning, Shaq Sparrow on this Wraith King, I've kind of been waiting to see in this tournament. I don't think they'd picked it yet. No, unless it was in the one game that didn't make it to the ticket, they haven't picked it yet. Shaq has an insane record on Wraith King. Shaq has played like hundreds of games and has like a 70% win rate on this hero. Let me look at exactly what these numbers are, because they're long. One tab down, the frame rate's gonna look like shit. Sorry. 237 games, 71% win rate on Shaq's Wraith King. This is so scary. I've been waiting to see it come out. And this is a level 30 sniper for boots. So the Broodmother last pick, very scary, but I'm wondering if there's going to be just so much experience on some of these heroes that it's going to favor SADBOYS. I didn't get a chance to talk about hats. Hats are very good overall.
30 seconds and counting.
It's a very even hats. I like... Oh, this is coming back. So they brought in a different player. We didn't get a chance to talk about it either. So they're bringing back the Axe, but Pepperboy stepping out, Kung Pao Kenny coming in instead. On the off lane, I like this set that Kenny's got more than Pepperboy's set. A little spicier. I think that might put it over for me. And I think hats are going to go for Savoury characters. Alright, nothing crazy going to happen for runes. Going to be the normal split as heroes wander over to their lanes. Let's introduce them. It is going to be Mies playing the Hoodwink. Again, this time on the 5 position though. Shaq Sparrow on the position 1 Wraith King.
Ever seen someone bleed
Already
out
some
no?
support fun being had down in the bot lane. Mid lane for SADBOYS, it's going to be Boots on the Sniper. And off lane, it's Light on the Viper and Chikiro on the position for Clockwork. On the side of Savoury characters, it's going to be Beats on the position 1 Drow, Owl on the 5 Rubik. Chio is on the mid Broodmother. And then rounding things off the off lane, it's Kung Pao Kenny on position 3 Axe, and Benji on the Lion. So yeah, I like how they decided to lane these, because you have the melee Wraith King with the Hoodwink, and Clockwork Viper is, I think, a very good lane. It's one that I've been wanting to try on my team, because I think it works really well, and these heroes are very strong in their positions independently anyway. But Rubik Drow is not an easy lane to fight into, so I'm curious how that's going to go. I don't expect a ton of kills in the mid lane, unless Chio on this spider is scarier than I'm giving her credit for. Bottom lane is probably where we're going to find our kills. These supports are going to trade a lot. They already have been. Oh, a really nice pushback from Mies there, trying to disrupt the pull. The pull is still going to happen even with the Centaur Stomp. Benji now, throwing out the Earth Spike. It's like they'll just keep Rating. Mies is falling low with the Battle Hunger, but should be okay for now. It does have the creeps hitting as well. He's salving up. Relieve some of that damage. Another nice pull coming out from Benji. Just immediately denying this creep, and has the camp stacked. So this wave of creeps is just going to disappear and be taken away from Shaq. Things still pretty calm. Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty quiet farming mid lane. I'm really curious how this matchup goes into the late game. I say it's going to be quiet, but they are just going to square up now. Geo taking lots of headshots. Boots firing away. Gonna have to be careful. And with the shrapnel, it is going to be first blood picked up by Boots on the Broodmother. TP considered, but is cancelled as the spider falls. So yeah, I think the shrapnel is going to be the tricky part for Chio in this mid lane. Oh, topside. They get the kill on the Drow. That's a really nice pickup. That's still the last fight recap. Let's give me the Drow's death summary, please. Yeah, actually not even the... Oh yeah, it doesn't even have a point in Nether Toxin. Going a more corrosive skin, poison attack build. I really like this lane for the power cogs into Nether Toxin, but just the damage alone from Viper is plenty. Wraith King getting low in the bot lane. Nice bushwhack to get the pressure off of Shaq Sparrow. That will allow the Wraith King to survive. Doesn't have any regen left in the tank, though. So this is going to open up the bot lane, where Kung Pao Kenny already in the lead on this axe as far as last hits go. Drow, they've had 6 last hits, probably a lot on cogs. I think it's getting a little inflated there. So they pick up another kill in this off lane. Light and Shakiro starting to pop off and really pushing beats off of the farm here. Light farming happily at 22 and 8.
See what we do for fun,
Nice little stun from Mies coming out with that bushwhack. They're looking more trading. Shaq Sparrow has to be careful now. Oh, one last right click from Benji. Now they're going to turn that into an Earth Spike onto Mies. Kung Pao Kenny stepping forward, doesn't have another Battle Hunger, so Mies will be able to escape. But a good return pickup by Savoury characters. So both safe lane cores at the bottom of the last hits. Shaq still a decent bit ahead of Beats, who is just getting so pressured by this Clockwork. This is such a hard lane to play into. The Viper Clockwork lane. Boots going to be the first in the mid lane to pick up level 6 off of that first blood. Has a slight advantage there. But not crazy far ahead in the last hits, only a difference of like a wave and a half, and similar amounts of denies. Everything's pretty calm now. 2 Wraith Bands on the Sniper, going a Shrapnel first build. I think this is in anticipation of the spawn Spiderlings at level 6, making sure you have plenty of AoE damage to handle those spiders. And as Broodmother hits level 6, this is where we're going to see the potential for Trio to really play up this spider game. Boot's going to pick up an Invis Rune and start wandering top. This could be another chance to get a nice pickup on Beats, who is having a rough start to the game. Another Toxin is available now. Level 5 already on Light, only level 3 of these heroes. The snipe immediately Beats is so low. The multi-shot isn't going to connect. And Light and Boots pick up the kill. Chakiro's looking for more, looking for Owl. They're going to get the vision and just so much damage from these 3 heroes. Be a quick pickup, and this is going to be a lot of damage with this rotation from Boots. It does mean that this Spider is going to have free lane of the mid tower for now. So we'll see how much of a punishment is going to come out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's like Chia won't hit it too hard, is going to opt to move towards the jungle, maybe look for a gank bot side. It is just going to be the full tier 1 tower. 7 minutes, faster than even the Lycan Leshrac lineup that we had last game is this tier 1 tower going down. Last game it was like 9 minutes. So really successful offlane from SADBOYS. And that's going to be a scary amount of pressure for Savoury characters to have to play into. Gio looking for something. Benji making the rotation, gets the Hex onto Boots, chained perfectly into the stun. Do they have the damage? They do. Absolutely eviscerates this sniper. No time for anybody to TP in to help. Jakiro playing so deep. Beats is so low. Still level 3 on this Drow. They are giving this Drow no game. But the game is still very even with the success that Savoury characters are having in their other lanes. And I think similar to the Arc Warden, this Broodmother is going to have the opportunity to kind of carry the game. And so it's not the end of the world that your proper position 1 is not having an amazing game. Switch over to net worth. Lion is out farming Drow. So that's a little but things otherwise quite even. Wraith King, again, not having an easy game either. Boots is going to show back up, try to defend this tower, gets the shrapnel, and with 4 points in it, that does deal quite a bit of damage to the spiders. Now I'm going to start teeing up on the big spider, but Owl's there. Hold it back. Only level 3 on this Rubik as well, as the safe lane completely ruined by the Viper Clockwork. Bot lane Shack Sparrow is finding some more farm.
Bounty.
Despite all of the cutting happening for Kung Pao Kenny. Oh, gets the courier, and that's just the helmet for the armlet. Is now they're gonna bring 4 heroes down here. Not a fan of what this axe is doing to their game. But the damage coming out, they get the dunk, so Kung Pao Kenny ends up being able to trade. Picks up the kill on Shakiro. But topside, Beats is still in a world of hurt. Gonna try to teleport away. And it will get just enough regen to survive the poison damage coming out. Meanwhile, Chio, though, finds the sniper returning to lane. And eats up that little guy who's trying to farm some camps. So, Chio now, top of the net worth, despite how good of a game Kung Pao Kenny is having. And looking really good for 2 of the cores on the side of Savoury characters. But the game is still very even because of how well the Radiant offlane went. This is a very different game than our last one, but just as competitive. This is a really fun pair of teams to watch play each other. SADBOYS, we saw them have a strong control of the vision game last game. It's a bit more defensive here. They do still have good vision on the opposite side as well. With Light, who's now going to rotate to help relieve some of the pressure in the bot lane, which is being created almost solely by Kung Pao Kenny. Shakira does not connect with the hook shot, but does still get the cogs into the bushwhack. Nice little combo there, but Benji's here, and here's Light bringing in the damage. They're going to get the dunk on Shakiro. Can Kung Pao Kenny escape? Shack Sparrow is going to look towards Benji, try to get a Wraithfire Blast going, but isn't going to find anything. Kung Pao Kenny is going to rotate back this way. We may need to be careful. SADBOYS is going to stand up in their trees by this tower. They're not ready to let this tower go down. Get the bushwhack onto Benji. Damage from Light is huge. And they have the snipe queued up, not going to need it. The shrapnel and the poison damage will be enough.
Yes, it is.
And now they're going to look towards Kung Pao Kenny. Shack Sparrow gets the Wraithfire Blast. Boots gets the damage into the bushwhack across the world. And they find a very big kill on an axe. So some nice kills picked up here by SADBOYS, but in the meantime, Chio is farming your Ancients, and Beats is getting a lane back. Still a ways to go on this drow. Looks like Power Tread's on the way out, so that'll help. But relieving this pressure on the drow could be a big problem. Playing as 5 on SADBOYS right now could be their demise. They want to find more space for Shaq. They're playing, I think, too close to this Wraith King as the game goes on. Big call on the Viper. They have the Bushwhack. Misa's still in the area, and Shaq Sparrow's coming back over. They get the Finger of Death into the dunk, so stacks all around for these heroes as they connect on their ultimates. So nice little pickup, and that draws Boots over here as well. So still SADBOYS playing as 5 together. And I worry if that's what's going to be best for them. I'd like to see them spread out across the map more. It's just so scary with the spider lurking. Both because it's a giant spider and because of how big Chio is already and how much threat on an individual hero she has. We see the micro game coming into play now too, as the spiders slowly swarm this clockwork. Silken Bolas comes out, has the cogs to get some space. Benji has the stun, but it looks like the shrapnel will be enough to deter the Broodmother. It's going to be very important for how Chio controls these spiderlings as far as keeping them alive for these fights into the shrapnel and the nether toxin. Hasn't had to fight the Viper much yet. Probably has been avoiding it. It's top lane, Light looking for more onto Beats, but Benji is here with the stun. Mana Drain, only 1 point in it, so not doing a ton. Now Owl's here as well. They're going to get the Viper Strike, so Beats might have stayed too long, but can the supports at least get a return kill? They can. Owl picks it up on Light. That's going to help Rubik get back in the game, but Beats being shut down once again. There's so much pressure being created. In both directions, though. Like, still only a 1k difference. Jack Sparrow has the armlet finished. Ooh, Blink is ready. Sub 15-minute Blink. Kung Pao Kenny having a game here. Shaq Sparrow going to still be forced to retreat. Very little for items on Shakiro, but sitting on a decent amount of gold, so should see something picked up soon. Mana Boot's going to be ready. We'll start Orb of Venom. I like that build on Mies. Mask of Madness is done on Boots, who is going to find one spider, and then going to quickly find many more spiders. Does have the shrapnel, but the lifesteal for these spiders. Oh, Bushwhack doesn't connect, so Trio is going to get away with a spidery murder there. This Broodmother last pick, absolutely menacing. Playing 3-0 since giving up that first blood. And the vision here, they're going to spot out Shaq Sparrow. Benji's here as well. This Wraith King is in trouble. Does have the ultimate available, so is going to come back up, but he's just fully surrounded. Misa's going to be here to try to back them off. Catches the main spider, but not the spiderlings. They're going to run around, look for something into the cogs. There's 2 sets of cogs as Rubik steals the spell. Finger on to the Wraith King, and Sniper caught on the side. Kung Pao Kenny. That's 3 kills for nothing so far for the side of Savoury characters. Owl gets stunned up, but nothing else to follow up. So a really nice pickoff turns into more than they could have asked for Savoury characters. And now the game has opened up. 5k gold difference in favor of the side of Savoury. Big area drawn on the map by Mies, and then responded to by Shakiro of like, nobody is playing here except for Light with no vision, because the only hero here is Beats, who Light is not afraid of. And then everybody else is playing in this part of the map, and Savoury characters have more control over it. SADBOYS have this nice river vision, but it doesn't actually do that much because of how far forward Savoury characters are able to play. With the scouting that they're doing, with these wards, with the pressure that the Broodmother is creating on the map.
Tower is under attack.
We're gonna get a lift onto Shaq Sparrow. Won't have another reincarnation available for a bit, but without seeing more heroes on the Radiant side and being so close to a tower, they're gonna choose not to commit too hard. Late still bringing the pressure on this top lane, farming all alone. By far the top lane net worth by just not playing in fights. Late is kind of playing like a proper position 1 at this point. Now Benji and Meese gonna move back towards this side of the map. Benji could be in some trouble, gonna get caught by a really nice bushwhack into a beautiful hook shot. Benji goes down. The sharpshooter doesn't quite connect, but Axe is fighting into the Nether Toxin, just constantly broken. Shakiro helps hold them in place. Beats throws out the multi-shot, but it's going to be forced to walk away as there's just too much damage. Owl coming in on the back, get cleaned up by Boots. So a really nice series of kills by SADBOYS as they look to take back control of one side of the map. Meanwhile, though, just perfectly in response, like, oh, my team is dying over here. Chio says, I've got all the vision in the world on this side of the map, so I just get to take this tower, and that's mine now. I might take this outpost on my way out. You guys can have that tower. My team's probably going to be up to defend it in time. Yeah, just the movements being very well made by this spider to get the maximum possible value out of a fight like that. Kung Pao Kenny gonna step right up into Chikiro. Has the Blade Mail to try to punish the shrapnel, the Viper damage, but is this damage gonna be too much? It is. The axe will go down with the help of the sharpshooter. And that could just open up SADBOYS to take this tower. Benji is going to capture this outpost, but we might just have a full swapping of maps here. Ooh, Chikiro, I think, has an idea of where Owl is and almost connects on that hook shot. Pretty much, I guess not completely won. They have this ward here. Just overestimated the move speed a little bit. Yeah, it looks like this map's going to fully swap. Light's going to TP back to try to relieve the pressure in the mid lane. Which these tier 1 towers being still up, I guess mainly the mid one, because the offlane beam tower is still up. Now Chio gonna engage with Light for the first time in this match. This is the scariest hero on the side of Radiant and has the Bloodstone already. So this could be trouble for the Spider. Benji getting chopped down by Boots as well. And they pick up 2 huge kills on the SADBOYS. Lead is right back down to 1k. And they're gonna immediately turn this into the very tower we were just talking about being important for how these teams are positioning. So I think Chio underestimates a little bit just how much space this Viper has gotten. The Viper has effectively the same amount of farm as she does. Kung Pao Kenny maybe looking for something to engage, but without 2 of your heroes and Beats still just trying to find more farm to be more of a factor in this game, gonna be forced away from the double damage Wraith King. They are gonna get vision of Kung Pao Kenny here though, and has the Wraithfire Blast very nicely timed by Meese, and the double snipe is going to blow up the axe. So they chain that into another nice kill that's gonna make it more difficult for the side of Savoury characters to bounce back, and right when it was looking like they were taking over this game, SADBOYS are right back in it. This is now very, very even.
Middle tower is under attack.
Here another assassinate. Oh, that's a Rubik assassinate.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Both sides have a lot of pushing power. Light and Boots tee up on this tower. Has the Dragon Lance. Working on the Aghanim Scepter. That's where the Bloodstone really comes into play with the nosedive. Ooh, they get a nice hookshot onto Benji, who's trying to do some dewarding. Take back control, and another sharpshooter from Meese. It's going to be curtains for this Lion.
Dire's middle tower is under
I think there is a decent chance that this game ends significantly faster than last game, and with significantly more kills. it was not a high kill game last game. It was, I think, like 34 to 32 in over an hour. And we're already more than, well, I guess about halfway there in much less than half. I think both teams happy to play a higher paced game after things going so long in the last one. SADBOYS is going to start looking at this tier 1 tower. It looks like they'll be able to get it for free. Owl going to consider showing up to defend it, but a little scary to do so without any help.
Bottom tower is no more.
Let's see, full Crimson Guard on the Axe. That's going to help mitigate a lot of the Sniper and Wraith King's damage. So we like seeing that. Guardian Greaves Pipe. So going a proper offlane build on the Broodmother. I wonder if that's going to kind of mitigate how much she was able to do for her team in this game. But I think the biggest thing is trying to just get this Drow Ranger to still be your proper carry, and just use the power of the Spider to make enough space in the early game. So over here, Kung Pao Kenny gonna get found again, maybe doing some shopping over by the triangle, so that's gonna be another nice pickup. And goes to Boots, who is moving their way up the net worth chart, and SADBOYS are gonna look at Roche here. They've got a decent amount of damage. We'll see. Dire should have vision of this, but I think with Axe down, they're not feeling like they have the tools to contest it, and they're going to let it go. So that will be at 24 minutes, your first Roshan of the game. Hero doing most of the tanking. For that Roche take, we'll get healed right back up. With this full Spirit Vessel finished on the Clockwork. Like seeing that item first. Desolator is ready on Wraith King. That's going to amplify his own damage and the rest of his cores. Viper will be kind of a split build, I think, with the Dragonlance Bloodstone. Still a solid amount of right-click damage. And then, of course, Sniper, who has a double damage. They're going to start looking at this Tier 3 tower. You've got decent high ground defense. Beats, who has gotten most of the way back into this game. Level 14. Almost caught up with the Wraith King on net worth. Kung Pao Kenny could be in trouble playing over here again. And be forced to blink away, so that'll dodge any potential bushwhack or other catch. The Savoury character is already feeling a little backed up into their base. So early on, all of their outer towers are down. This is looking a little similar to last game, so maybe I shouldn't be saying that this game is going to end much faster too early. Chio trying to find what space she can. With the threat of Light, who is top of the net worth and has the Aghanims completed. So this could be a chance for SADBOYS to step forward. They get the stuns and the damage onto the Clockwork, who goes down in short order. To try to get a return kill for Owl. Is this Sharpshooter going to connect? Oh my god, Mies! What a shot! Nice little return kill for Owl. There have been many very nice sharpshooters in the WLDL. There are so many position 4 players that play Hoodwink in this league, and they are very, very good. That was kind of a crazy shot. Alright, both supports respawning pretty quickly, and it's just going to kind of be a standoff dance here at the Dire high ground. Light is literally spinning in circles, waiting for creep waves to collide. Chio is doing a nice little job finding space here. And Kung Pao Kenny, who, you know, we've seen get caught out a few times, but that's because he's out here finding weird space. But our sad boy is going to be privy to the fact that this axe isn't here, because that's one of the scariest high ground defense threats. Nice bushwhack here, and another sharpshooter getting charged up by Mies. Not going to connect this time. Shaq Sparrow is in, and is immediately going to get stunned up and brought down. They have the damage. Benji is maybe going to fall, but the Guardian Greaves are there. And now here's the initiation on to Boots. They get the Aegis. Viper falling low. This is a really big pickup, but the bushwhack is massive. They finish off Benji, and now here comes the damage back on the respawn. Boots does finally go down. The shrapnel doesn't quite kill Beats, and it ends up being 4 dead on the side of Sad Boys, and 2 of those heroes had to die twice.
I don't consider myself the best player.
So Savoury character is doing a good impression of last game, where they get backed into a corner, and it seems like the corner is their favorite place to be. They are just making huge plays with this high ground defense.
Tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
And immediately getting big map pressure. Light is respawning. This could be trouble for Chio, who's trying to get the most out of this, but with the pipe and the Guardian Greaves well prepared to defend her whole spider family from the damage of this Viper. Back at the top of the net worth now is Chio on the Broodmother, and Beats has surpassed Shaq Sparrow off of the tail end of that fight. So fully back into this game is this Drow Ranger. The net worth lead with that creep camp has switched back to the side of Savoury characters. Uh-oh, Owl gonna get found a little too far from home. That'll fit, I mean, just a completely even game in terms of net worth. The difference is mostly in these top 4 cores. SADBOYS is going to control both outposts for now, so going to have the map control advantage. And it has felt like they've had a decent map advantage. I mean, especially off of getting that Roshan, getting the outer towers. Chio looking to try to even that up by getting a nice little pick and finish off this mid tower.
Tower is under attack.
And maybe try to scout something out. But yeah, the Spiderlings are just going to clean up that tower.
Is no more.
So that's going to be nice. Oh, as the Ancients are going to save Benji from this hook shot, but there's so many heroes to escape through. Oh no, the Assassinate is going to finish them off.
Its middle tower is under attack.
But meanwhile, while all of this fighting is happening, Chio has gotten more than half of the damage onto this Radiant mid tower. Almost matching what was picked up in the Radiant's push before into the Dire base. Light could be in a little bit of trouble here. Force staff forward from Beats, but now the turnaround with the Bushwhack. Oh, nice tanking of the Sharpshooter from Axe with the Blade Mail actually brings Mies quite low. The Assassinate is not going to be enough to finish off the Axe. Shaq being the lone defender here of Chio's pushes. You've got the Spider versus Skeleton War. And now Chio could be in some trouble. The hookshot doesn't quite connect, but they have plenty of damage with the Bushwhack. BKB is available, and that should be enough with the Guardian Greaves to be able to narrowly escape. Almost a very, very nice pick-off as SADBOYS move back from their push bot side. Light farming a little low, but has the Bloodstone in the back pocket if there's any they can engage. So now they're going to look for something onto the Viper. They get the Hex, the stun, the disarm. Dunk does not quite make it. They don't have Call available quite yet, and the Bloodstone damage, Kung Pao Kenny could be the first to go down, forced to use BKB. Now here's Beats from the high ground, picks up the kill onto Light, and they get the kill on The Clockwork as well. Jumps forward with the call and the Sniper. Kung Pao Kenny, trying to make big things happen, is going to eventually go down, but it's going to be enough for Chio to get in here to finish off the Sniper. They get the pushback. The Spiders are still active. There's the first life on the Wraith King. Can they find more? Beats is up here. They have the stuns, they have the disable, and Wraith King goes to the ground a second time. Pick up the outpost while they're here, and Savoury characters. 1 for 4, huge fight. And it's looking like they are back in the driver's seat in what is come out to be a very back and forth game. I want to check while we have a bit of a lull here. Speaking of checking, they're going to check Roche and find that it is available. In that previous game, what was our final kill score? Because I want to see... It was 34 to 38. I think we're going to pass that well before the 62-minute mark. And I want to see just how much faster paced this game is being played in terms of kills. Because this is an entirely different game. Let's see, we've got Yasha ready on Viper, looking at a Manta style, so kind of going back towards a right-click build after the Bloodstone Ags. Blade Mail ready on Clockwork. I like this on the position for Clockwork as kind of a defense for the Spiders, and an answer for the huge damage coming out from these more squishy supports. Let's see. Mjolnir finished on the Sniper. This was a big item in the opposite direction for Savoury characters on both Arc Warden and Gyro in Game 1 for dealing with the Lycan and Phantom Lancer. So I think a similar thought process going on here for dealing with all of the Spiders. Dota is doing the thing where it decides to not have frames anymore. Hopefully it still looks alright on the stream end. Ooh, the call not quite gonna connect. But the Cog's actually doing more to trap the Viper. And now here comes Chio looking to finish off Light, but still has the Bloodstone. Blade Mail used. Everybody kind of looking to retreat, not sure what they want. Now they're going to get the call on the Viper, and with the damage from Beats and the BKBs here, they finish off Viper, turning towards Shaq Sparrow, has the Reincarnate, so we'll go down the first time. Here comes the damage from Boots. Chio could be in trouble, be forced to BKB and back up, as all of the skeletons going to get cleared out once by a Fade Bolt. It looks like Beats will get the last hits on them. So all in all, Viper dies, Wraith King dies once. And we'll see, it looks like Savoury characters are going to look right back into the Roche pit. Alright, so Aegis is going to go to the Drow Ranger.
This will come in handy.
And Shard. There should have been a Shard on that one. It is currently being held by Broodmother, passed off to the Rubik. This will be pretty big. Gives you the improved telekinesis, as well as Shard effects on any spells you steal. Looks like we'll just farm with this Aegis for now, start to look towards this top tower. Last tier 2 in play in this game. They've got the time to kind of slow siege this. Shakira, though, is looking for a hook shot. Oh, almost gets it onto Beats, but now is going to be in a world of trouble. They've got the stolen sharpshooter, and Kung Pao Kenny is in on the back line, gets a huge call onto Boots, is going to be able to disengage, has the shard as well, so plenty of room to escape. They get a nice stun onto Chio. Meanwhile, Beats finds a kill on the Hoodwink. Benji steps up towards Light, but Boots is raining down damage from this high ground. It's so scary to play into a sniper high ground. And that's going to force Savoury characters back. We'll see if they can regroup and keep pressuring this tower. Meanwhile, Creep Wave hitting top, Kung Pao Kenny gonna get forced to retreat. They're gonna do a little bit of a smoke reposition, leave Beats behind. This could be dangerous. He's gonna eat and assassinate, but will have enough to get the tower. Just not having enough vision on the side of SADBOYS to know that it was safe to go in and
I almost feel bad.
pick up an Aegis there. And at the end of the day, you're only going to get an Aegis, and you know that the Broodmother can get there very quickly. So all outer towers are down. It's time to start looking towards high ground. Another Rubik Sharpshooter comes out. Jack Sparrow pushing things out a little deep. Is going to retreat now as Dire takes control of the Radiant side of the map. So now we have a complete reversal, and 11,000 net worth advantage for the side of Savoury characters. Drow has fully surpassed all 3 Radiant cores at this point. Just completely back into this game. From having such a difficult start to the game, such a brutal lane from the Viper Clockwork, it is all erased. But man, we might need to start gearing up for another long game, because how do you go high ground against either of these teams? You've got Sniper, Viper, you've got the threat of a Clockwork and a Hoodwink initiation. On this side, you've got a Wraith King that you have to kill twice. And on the opposite side, if we end up seeing things swing back the other way, you've got Broodmother, you've got Drow, you've got the threats of an Axe initiation, Benji's got Blink Force Staff, you can get halfway across the map to get an initiation on you. Like, this is a really hard game to play. And so I think we're just going to see some choking out happen. And the difference here with it being... Oh, they're going to get a silence with the Gust onto Wraith King. Just going to be enough to push him back. It's going to be able to retreat. Yeah, the difference when it was the other way around is that Chio was still with the spiders and the webs able to find some space outside of the base. Kung Pao Kenny was also doing a good job picking up farm elsewhere on the map. And it's a lot harder for this Radiant team to do it. Light could be trying to split out somewhere. Now they're going to get some damage into this Drow Ranger. Only 30 seconds left on the Aegis. So have to be careful about this timing. Now they get the catch.
As they say, on it, wicked sick.
I missed what brought Meese down over the high ground. I think that was the catch from Owl with the shard. Yeah, that's where the tips are for. The telekinesis picks it up, and now they get another catch onto the Viper. Chihiro's going to be in to try to break things up, but Light's falling so low. They've already used Bloodstone. Beats, though, goes down. Aegis has expired, and now Chio's in trouble. Has to be taking in retreat. They commit the buyback from Light, so Savoury characters need to get out of here. No hookshot available yet. Assassinate comes out on Benji, but has plenty of health to get away from that. Jack Sparrow charging forward, has Reincarnation in the tank. Excuse me? Okay, so much for that Reincarnation, as Jack Sparrow does not respect the Finger of Death. Benji picks that one up nice and quick with enough enough charges on the Finger of Death. Also has the max health, so is not so squishy anymore. So now we're going to see teams pushing both ways. This concussive grenade is kind of insane on the Rubik. Gives them so much space to dodge out. So the middle tower of Die are going to be the first tier 3 to fall. And Boots is here for this push too. This is kind of a full base race now. Chio is chewing away at this top tower, but is not getting buildings at the rate that the Radiant team is. And now they're going to be able to TP back with a set of racks in tow. Everybody coming home.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
A minute and a half until the chance of the next Roshan. Oh, Benji just misses the Earth Spike. Trying to find Shakira leaving the base, who didn't have TP to make the disengage.
Jackpot.
What does Benji have on the list? Oh, just some wards in his bum. Curious what the next item will be on the Lion.
Oh.
What else do we got going? We've got Silver Edge finished on Drow Ranger. BKB getting used on Chio, who's trying to escape from Light and Shakiro. Hookshot could have been disastrous because that does pierce BKB. Let's see, Rubik has the Aghanim Scepter finished too. Actually, solid amount of money on this Rubik. Most valuable of the supports. I guess that partially being assisted by getting the free Ag Shard. But now it's going to have double the spell steal. Another Toxin gives them a source of break. Got Shiva's done on Axe, help mitigate that Bloodstone. Curious, do we have the Drow? Yeah, the Drow Shard is in play as well. The Bloodstone might start feeling a little weak. I think that might be part of why Light is going to pivot towards this more right-click heavy build. I guess you do still get plenty of benefits from the lifesteal of Bloodstone on just regular poison attack as well. Shaq Sparrow has Blink BKB. I think the BKB is the most recent item there. Now, maybe looking for a catch onto Chikiro, but Boots and Nice are in the area. Ooh, Call doesn't quite hit. As Chikiro and Kung Pao Kenny kind of do a little blade mail dance around each other. They're going to get a slow from the Acorn, and a really nice blink from Shaq Sparrow. Finds the Lion with the Wraithfire Blast. Assassinate, not quite going to finish it, and Benji dodges the Sharpshooter. And now Chikiro is going to be the one getting caught in the cogs. The damage from Boots is coming out on Kung Pao Kenny. He's going to get forced to retreat. Gust is not going to connect through the BKB. Now they get the stun. Boots jumping forward. But it's going to be Nice that goes down. They get the Finger of Death onto Boots, and Beats finishes off Shaq Sparrow. So that fight turns out all Savoury characters, as Light is here defending the base from the spiders, and Roche has respawned, and they are immediately back into the pit. Roche number 3 goes to Savoury characters. You're going to get a refresher on the Lion and the Cheese, both being held by Benji right now. You've got Scythe, Ags finished on Broodmother. I have not checked this Broodmother's items in a little bit. This is scary. Nullifier in the works. Ags. I guess we were seeing the Ags in play. The Spinner Snare. Refresher Shard getting passed over to Drow Ranger. So just for that BKB usage, I think. Or at least primarily. Full Refresher Orb for the Axe. Excuse me?
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is kind of a classic build before they upped the mana cost of doing Refresher BKB. Oh, and they get a nice Sharpshooter into the hookshot onto Chio. Doesn't have the Aegis. That went to Beats. So Chio could be going down here. It will fall. The Spider finally brought down. They get the Finger of Death to find the first kill onto Shaq Sparrow. Light nicely dodging away. Battle Hunger still taking away. They get the pick up onto Owl. Refresher Orb used, but not going to be enough to get through, although the second BKB is going to extend the life enough to find the kill on Boots. Shaq Sparrow just going to live. No, not quite. The Battle Hunger finishes it off. Beats is trying to chase a squirrel through the trees, which is a dangerous game to play. Smoke's up. Pings are coming out. But will be forced to retreat. So, for the first time in a while, SADBOYS find themselves a very nice fight. The high ground defense in both directions, again, is just so hard to get into. They do finally get this middle tier 3 tower, but still no barracks for the side of Savoury characters. All of those barracks still in play. And actually no buybacks, so this could be really dangerous. If SADBOYS play the game of just running at the Ancient and finding out what buybacks are available, I don't know, you have Rubik back up, so maybe without Shaq Sparrow that's not enough. They are just going to look towards this top tier 3. There's so much damage. They've got the Shard on Viper, which just melts the damage of towers. But the damage from Beats is no joke. Mises up the high ground with Sharpshooter. They get the Assassinate, a return Sharpshooter coming out, connects onto Boots! Massive damage from the Rubik! The Arcane Supremacy is absolutely no joke. They do manage to bring down this tier 3 tower before enough heroes can respond, defend it. But that will force them to retreat, and so this will just be another exposed barracks in the top lane. Lines being drawn. It looks like that's Boots saying play on their side of the map more. Mies looking to say protect our last tier 3. Shove top to finish off that Rax. Let's see. Do we have more items? Overwhelming Blink ready on the Axe. Lion has Aether Lens working on the Aghanims. Daedalus ready on Sniper, working on a Satanic, which will be pretty big. This is a little awkward. Didn't break the Mask of Madness for the Satanic. Gonna slow that down a little bit. But maybe was intentional. But I don't think you ever want both of those items. Kung Pao Kenny constantly split pushing and splitting the map in this game, creating a lot of pressure out of nowhere that you don't normally see an Axe doing. Kind of an interesting playstyle. Might be part of the fact that they are a stand-in for this match. I don't know how much experience they have with this team.
My damage redoubled.
And that is a good way to kind of separate yourself when you don't have that chemistry. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna do. They're gonna smoke into each other here. This is gonna be a massive fight. They get a huge call onto the back lines. And Beats is here with the damage. It's pouring in. 3 dead already on SADBOYS. Wraith King just respawning now from the first death. Light's gonna go down, and Shaq will not be able to escape. It's a full team wipe. Savoury characters making it happen. Forget what I was saying about maybe not having the chemistry with Kung Pao Kenny, because that Axe just made an absolutely beautiful call off of the double smoke to set up potentially the game-winning fight. Only 2 buybacks available on the side of Radiant. They're just waiting for their creeps to get here. Chano and Benji high-fiving as they wait.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
I mean, without buybacks coming out, you could almost just go for Throne here. We'll see what they opt to go for. They're going to start hitting every lane at once, and now, yeah, Chio's going to march forward towards the tier 4s. Fortify is going to come out, a buyback from Shaq Sparrow, but still has 7 seconds to wait for these supports. Shakiro going to hold the buyback for now. That is going to be their best bet. Sharpshooter trying to scout out the fountain. 1 tier 4 already on the deck. Benji immediately gets the stun to set up the call. This could just be the game. Double finger of death. Double dunk. Forced his buyback out of Chikiro immediately and Mies. But in the meantime, Shaq Sparrow's already down and GG is called. Savoury characters take game 2. A 2-0 Team Sad Boys in the cross-divisional match. What a series. 52 minutes, 29-40. Savoury characters saying, hey, we're ready to play in the Sange division. Man, absolute spectacle of games. Massive back and forth in both of them. Incredibly explosive finales both times. Man, crazy, crazy game. Oh, I mean, with that final fight, I gotta give MVP of that game, Kung Pao Kenny. Really great performance on this X, just splitting out the map, finding the space, and then making exactly the call that was needed to win this game. Yeah, this game, look at this back and forth. The net worth was dead even until 35 minutes. And then gradually goes the way of Savoury characters. Still some more back and forth within that. The Sad Boys were winning some fights.